just talking about anime. Guess it's important to hear what they say. Argue over weapons throughout night and day. Now that you listen to the Rant Cafe.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Animac here from Anime Uproar, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Rant Cafe Anime Podcast. Today, we have, for the very first time, a special guest, a young lady known as PROJEKT Melody.
Hi.
This is when you... Yeah, perfect. There we go. Boom. Amazing.
She is also known as Mrs. Taku.
She is not,
Oh.
because, as we know, I would change my name to Nux Melody first. No, I'm kidding. Because I am a man of culture for the people. But anyway, yeah.
No,
I
I
want to be
agree.
William.
William. Yes. William Nuxanor.
That's me. Right.
Bro, that's why you got swatted, because we revealed your real name, William Nuxanor.
There we go. Now we all know how it happened.
Also
Although,
joining me,
just
of
saying,
course.
by the way, if you hear a loud banging in the background, then I mute myself in the middle of Rant Cafe, you'll know why.
Okay.
Did you die?
I'll keep you updated on that one.
Oh,
Yeah, just mute yourself before you die, bro.
Yeah.
Of course.
And please
Dying
don't hit
on
your mic.
stream.
Please, for the love
Dying.
of God. Do not hit your mic. We're a very professional podcast here. We can't have any chair squeaking or mic hitting.
Yeah.
Dying on stream is such a weak mindset.
And of course, joining me, as you can tell and hear, are Nux and Briggs.
Nuts and bricks!
Wow, they did it at the same time this time. That's
In unison.
in unison. Yeah, so in this episode, we're going to be talking about what makes anime great. We all have specific things that we look for in a great anime, specific preferences. So we're going to be debating what an anime needs to be truly great, what aspects we prefer to others, what we need to have, what we like to have, but not necessarily, all that type of stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun. Before we get into it, the new chapter of our Rant Cafe light novel, Isekai, is up on Web Novel. Check it out. And we're going to be doing a read-through at the end of this episode for 2 chapters. So it's going to be freaking nuts, boys.
Hell yeah.
The
Reading
excitement-
time.
Reading time.
Story
Reading has
time.
never been this fun.
Story time.
Story time on Rant Cafe has become the biggest segment, the most popular thing we do.
Big
Gotta
fact.
make a blanket fort and candy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hot cocoa.
Oh.
So when I suggested this topic, it was
Mhm.
because it became apparent to me that, like, me, Animac, and Nux, we talk about anime pretty much, like, well, obviously twice a week. But it's become apparent that, like, we all love different things about anime or watch anime for different reasons.
Yep. We got into this whole big fan service debate in our group chat. And then we were like, all right. Calm down.
I love waking up to you guys bickering every morning about the topic, and my contribution was just beautiful. I'm like, this conversation dicks.
That's what he said.
Basically, we were talking about the philosophical merits of fan service, and it got heated.
As you can see, we're very passionate about what we love. That's the moral of the story here.
Yeah.
But Melody, why don't you start things off? You're the guest of honor. Take it away. What makes anime great for you?
Dude. So the things that I focus on when looking for an anime, besides
JoJo
like
references. I knew you'd say that. Yes.
yes. No. I mean, that is nice. I like when there's references and it breaks the fourth wall.
I like how
do
you
like
said
that.
that's nice, because that was a JoJo reference. Well done.
Nice.
Man,
Oh
bro, is
my
everything a JoJo
God.
reference? What's going on?
Langert with 20,000 bits. God damn.
God damn.
Damn.
Langert, Lord Langert, as he'll be known in the light novel, thank you so much.
Yay! Thank you. Can you hear me
Hell.
clapping?
We hear buzzing, so I guess that's you clapping.
Damn it!
Oh no.
Awesome job, man. Thank you.
No, really. Thank you very much. Anyway, Melody, aside from JoJo references.
Oh yeah.
what
Oh
makes
okay.
anime-
Okay. For an anime to really like suck me in, either a really hot female protagonist that really sticks out, like small boobs and super tsundere, something kind of like.
Can you give an example?
Ooh, I guess there's a
Toradora?
something called like the Twin Tails. What is it?
Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You like that?
I just started it. She's so cute.
I think Taiga fits the bill. Also, Asuka Langley.
Oh fuck yeah, Asuka, absolutely. I love Asuka. That fits perfectly. Okay, so then
Yeah,
like
she's
an
great.
Asuka type or like sci-fi. I like technology, new gadgets, and sci-fi. Yeah.
Fun fact: Evangelion is sci-fi.
I have it right here, Evangelion sci-fi / Tenchi Muyo. I didn't put it in as more transhumanism. I think it. I have a list. I have a big thing.
Taking notes.
I like Evangelion. I wouldn't say it's the type of thing that pulled me in personally. I did like it, but I liked it more than My Hero Academia. I mean, and if it's better than My Hero, then honestly, that means it must be pretty top tier if you've seen Twitter.
Well, to be honest, Deku is less of a crybaby than Shinji, to be fair.
Barely, bro.
Shinji's just misunderstood, man. He had literally the weight of the world on his shoulders.
But I mean, that
And
is
his
true.
dad
It's
is
a
an
messed up
asshole.
story. Yeah, it's a messed up story, so it's
And
not
Deku
that...
wanted to have superpowers. Shinji wanted to not have powers. Do you see the difference between these characters?
No, I see the difference. I think it's a difficult story, and you can understand why Shinji is the way he is, but that doesn't mean that you can necessarily like him or relate to him because of just how traumatized he is, and you might not be as the viewer.
That's fair.
I think that's a pretty good example for like just people liking different things from anime because it was a very long time ago that I watched Evangelion and my memory is not too great. But I also don't remember liking the characters, so maybe that's why I didn't appreciate the show as much. I'm a very character driven person. I like to have a series with Chads in it, a series with characters undergoing their Chad formation. You know?
You see, the thing is, Briggs himself is a level 9 Chad. So if the series doesn't at least one-up Briggs with a level 10 or higher Chad, then, not gonna lie, he's just gonna be disappointed. And thank you, 929 for 4,500 bits.
I'm not saying that name, but thank you so much.
Thank you, Iska. Oh, top five Anna Chads. Go.
Top 5 Anachads. Damn, okay. Put him on the spot. Escanor from the Seven Deadly Sins is a big Chad.
Big Chad.
Trying to think of...
I'm guessing your other 5. You got Sakaki over there from Kenichi.
Without a doubt, okay.
You got Kenpachi from Bleach.
Hell yeah.
Maybe.
Well, for sure in top 10 for Kenpachi, but okay.
You got the main great teacher Onizuka.
Onizuka is definitely he's a beauty. He's a bit of a Chad, but yeah.
Ooh,
Ryder-
they're saying Armstrong.
Armstrong,
from,
yeah. Armstrong's great.
Armstrong.
Got
Ryder
that comedy
from
there
Fate
as well.
Zero.
Ryder, Iskandor from Fate Zero is great. These are some great picks. Yami from Black Clover is a pretty big Chad. Takamura from
Zoro's
Hajime no
quite the Chad.
Ippo.
Oh, Takamura, bro. Good call. Oh, God, yeah.
I mean,
Well, you can't mention Fate without the Gilgamesh.
That's true.
I mean, Gilgamesh is great, but I wouldn't say he falls in the Chad category, or I like to call it the Chadagory, as much as Ryder.
Don't get me wrong. I love these Chad characters, and I think they're a great. They do get me into anime because they're a lot of the times my favorite characters in anime. But at the same time, I do when I first got into anime, I loved the underdog stories. I loved underdogs. So characters that may not have been Chads, but were in the process of undergoing their Chad formation. A good example was Kenichi from Kenichi the Mighty Disciple. I mean, I guess Naruto in the beginning as well.
So you like the Chad formation process?
It's all about the
course.
Chad formation, and I think that one of the biggest Chads is, even though Briggs never finished this anime, Sin Chad from Magi.
Oh, someone who said Mashal from Mashal's Muscles and Magic, which is such a great new manga.
Yeah. Also, Guts from Berserk. It's a bit of a Chad.
Ooh.
That's true.
Oh yeah,
That's true.
and he's a Chad that went through a lot.
Guts.
Yeah.
But yeah, enough about Chads. I just feel like I really appreciate
In the
good
chat, someone just said Stunk from Interspecies Reviewers.
Oh my god.
Anywho, so yeah, there we go. There's
Yeah,
our top
it's
end
not just the
Chads.
Chads.
Mel.
I just tend to like characters and good character development, good character interactions, and just like quirky, fun characters. I feel like that's what kind of brings me into series. For example, that's why I had a very hard time getting into Attack on Titan, while someone like Animac liked Attack on Titan right off the bat. I didn't like the characters. Eren was annoying. Mikasa didn't say words. And Armin was a bitch.
I liked Attack on Titan as soon as I heard.
It sounded exactly like that too.
It's like I'm there.
I'm proficient in fantasy German languages.
Yo, Odin from One Piece is probably the biggest Chad in the series.
Oh yeah.
I don't know
I
who
was
that
gonna
is.
say like Zoro's probably like a good example
Shut
of
up,
Chad as
anime.
well.
Yeah.
Fu-
Dude, Whitebeard, man. In the latest One Piece version, when Whitebeard's like, oh, there's what's his name? Shanks says to him like there are going to be crazy repercussions from all of this, and Whitebeard's like, I don't care about repercussions. I am Whitebeard. It's like,
Do you think Whitebeard's more of a Chad than Odin though? That's the question.
no, I don't. I think Odin's a bigger Chad.
Man, that narrator though. I can't
That
talk
narrator,
about it.
I know what you're I know what you're thinking.
Okay,
Oh,
guys.
man. All right.
No spoilers for One Piece. What was I gonna say? Yeah, so I think there are people who really like character-driven stories, people who really like plot, and then sometimes you have a mixture of both. You can have stories that don't have the best characters or most relatable characters, but that you actually still like, and I would put Evangelion as one of those.
All right, so I liked Evangelion. Don't get me wrong. I did like it. It wouldn't enter my top tier. Again, I also obviously like a blend, and I think everyone does to an extent. Good characters, good plot, like all that stuff definitely increases anyone's enjoyment factor for the show. It's just for some people, certain things are more important than others.
Exactly.
Like, for example, for Animac, if the show doesn't have a MILF, it's not worth your time. Whereas, honestly, if the plot's good and the ideology's good, I can work my way around the lack of MILFs.
Like, how can you say that? Clearly, Toradora is a good character-driven anime, but only because Ryuji's mom is there.
There we go. You see?
You want to know a fun fact?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like MILF is at the bottom of the barrel for me. Like, just
But I thought you were Mommy Mel.
Melody, this
No,
is why,
that's freaking-
this is
that's-
why we love you.
that's Ventrea.
Oh,
She's
Ventrea's
mommy.
Mommy. Okay.
I'm creepy uncle.
I
Oh,
can see
no.
that. I can definitely see that. But I think Mousy respects my MILF taste.
Yeah, because you have to understand that everything's a matter of perspective. From Mousy's perspective, everyone's a MILF.
Well, to get back on topic somewhat, I do. So, for example, Evangelion and philosophy is a big thing, and politics. Those are two big things that I like to see in anime that are truly great. Like, obviously, you're not going to have much of that in, say, slice of life high school anime, although you could, but usually you don't have that much of it. And they can still be great anime. But in the ones that I really love, they will have compelling characters and plot, and also great philosophy. Now, there are anime out there, like I would say Evangelion is one of them, Ergo Proxy, etc., that the plot and characters are not as interesting as the actual philosophy. And it's the philosophy that keeps me interested. So in that sense, maybe I'm biased because I do look at philosophy and stuff like that with such high regard. And I like to see references to philosophers and all that type of stuff. But I can definitely understand where Briggs is coming from when he says, I like to have characters that I can relate to, characters that develop, characters that are likable. And if I don't have that, it's hard for me to be invested with the story itself.
Yes.
I'm curious.
For Attack on
sorry.
Titan, the premise actually it's what kept me going, despite me not liking the characters. And I've come to the realization of why I love One Piece so much. My two most important factors for me are the characters and the world. And I think as the Attack on Titan world started to develop, I started to fall more in love with the series. And then towards later in the manga, I started to like even like some of the characters as well. So wow, that makes so much sense. I'm figuring out why I love One Piece right now.
Yeah, and
Wow,
One Piece
we
is very-
really needed a new way to realize why Briggs actually likes One Piece. It's not like we talk about One Piece every week or anything.
Well, I've always liked One Piece and talk about great things, but when you actually think about what gets me into anime, that's what One Piece does best. World building.
Briggs, did you ever think about how the actual One Piece world itself goes through several Chad formations?
Several
Yes.
Chad formations.
Like as the story goes further and we start learning about new intricate ways to view everything, like where Animac's up to right now, all of a sudden we got Shanks meeting Whitebeard, we got the Marines and all that, we got the
Revolutionaries
versus Ace. There's the Revolutionary Army. It's like the world just underwent a Chad formation.
Yes. And
that
that
is
is
nothing compared to the Chad formation that's coming, but we won't.
And that's why I really think that One Piece is an example of you have a lot of focus on characters. It is character driven, but it is also the world building is so expansive because the setting is such an important part. They're constantly traveling, so the world building is really great. And you do, as the story goes on, get more of those political and philosophical elements as well. So everything is there, and the humor is amazing. So that is why I think One Piece is such a standout and such a popular story.
So Psy 6800 gifted 5 tier 1 subs and 1,000 magical bitches to say, "Yo, I'm here. It's Nux and Briggs." Feature Animac and Melody.
Yeah, Melody. That's how I get it. It's always Nux and Briggs. And I guess.
Oh my God! It just said that we got a $500 donation.
Holy
Did it really? What the fuck?
I don't know. People are saying it in the
donated.
chat.
Oh,
Ludicrous
big
Fun
donor.
donated. Ludicrous Fun. Oh my God, bro.
Ludicrous
Ludicrous,
Fun
thank
is
you.
crazy, and also he just like donates in different ways too. Sometimes he gives like
Bits.
50 gifted subs. Sometimes he gives bits. Now he apparently made a donation. Like, wow. He's a patron too. Like this guy is just.
This man's a legend.
He's my rich uncle that I hide.
Dude, he's underwent many Chad formations.
There we go. Man,
Thank
I love
you,
this
Mr.
word.
Legend.
God damn.
Oh, I had thought. Had.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well,
Mel.
I know. Yeah, you talk about thoughts very often. It's weird.
Hell yeah, I do. I'm the queen of the thought. No, I was thinking specifically Animac because you are into philosophy.
Yes.
When I think of philosophy, there is one anime that stands out in front of any other anime of the thousands of anime I've seen.
Oh man, I'm so excited.
Interspecies
This one
reviewers.
huh?
Interspecies reviewers.
Eat a penis. That's not
Let a
interspecies.
woman talk. Let the woman talk, Nux.
The number one that I consider like philosophy, all-encompassing, very worth discussing for a decade is Madoka Magica.
Oh,
Thank God you didn't say Gurren Lagann. I was going to yeet myself off a bridge. I am so happy right now. I love you, Melody. Frick yes. Madoka Magica is so good for so many reasons. And Animac never saw the movie, so he doesn't even know.
Yeah, I haven't seen the movie, but I did see the series because it was on Netflix, or it still might be. And it starts off pretty like, this isn't for me. But then it definitely, because people told me keep watching because it gets different, I definitely appreciated it as it goes on. And it does have a MILF.
Oh yeah, the mom.
The mom is cool. I like the mom.
The mom looks as old as his daughter.
Thank you,
They
UB,
look
for
the same
3,000
age.
bits.
Thank you,
UB with 3,000 bits.
Chad lad.
Absolute mad lad. So
what do you like about the philosophy, Melody?
There are several things that stick out. One, considering I think of the soul gems, that is very important because when the soul is ripped out of them and they weren't aware at the time, and one of the girls threw the soul gem off the, was it Maki? Threw her soul gem off the bridge and she died. And with Kyubey explaining, like, it makes sense. He's completely logical. That's why he sees emotions as a mental illness. I get it because he's a creature of complete logicness. And him explaining like, oh, when you remove the soul and you're just like an animated body, you can take all those punches and you're fine. That makes sense. But all of the characters were so horrified to find out, like, having the soul within you, I don't know, how do I think? It's hard. It's like, it's the duality of existence. Like, humans are so stuck on the idea of this tangible. Fuck. I'm sorry. I'm nervous.
No, I know what you mean.
Good. Yeah,
I know what you mean.
Just like you do know what I'm saying because it.
Yeah, it reminds me of like the big question of Ghost in the Shell. Like, what is the ghost?
What is the ghost?
Like, what are human beings? What are emotions in relation to logic and thoughts? In relation to the soul, or what we are as a whole, and how much of these different components make up the whole? Are they crucial? Can we do without any of them? Can we get rid of our emotions or any other aspects of us? I think a lot of that is really, really cool to think about, like, what is it to be human?
I
Man,
know.
so
I
Think
can
about
see why
Madoka.
Melody would struggle with that concept, trying to understand what it's like to be human and understand human emotion. It makes sense.
There we go.
Hey, I've read a lot, thank you. No, but with Modoko,
So
it kind
I
of makes
think-
me think of the hammer, or like a hammer. Like over time, you replace the handle, you replace the metal. Is it the same handle? And with
Right, yeah,
Modoko
the same hammer.
Kusanagi, like
Yes,
is she still who she was? Because she's almost entirely cyberized.
exactly. Yeah, and that's such an interesting question. What makes us human? What is the definition of human? And at what point do you stop being human and become something else? And like, I think
Exactly.
the Ghost in the Shell movies are so great at exploring that too. And then there, in the second movie, there's the whole AI reveal where the AI is trying to figure out what it is to be human. And oh man, it's so cool.
But Animac,
I'm
but
ready.
Animac,
I
at what
do
point
like
do you
Madoka
stop being
Magica.
human and become super?
Hey.
Thank you for the
For the One Piece reference. We needed that right now. But as far as Madoka Magica goes, it's more than an overall philosophical concept that's tackled in the show, because every individual character has their own, psychological and also ideological inner turmoil. Because all these wishes, so how the way they become magical girls is they request for a wish and the wish is granted, and based on the power, based on how big of a wish they wished for, their powers reflect that on a physical level. And it's interesting because now that they've become magical girls, they're forced to forever fight these witches and in these alternate dimensions, and they all pretty much die, which also kind of sucks. But that said, it's interesting because everyone has a wish that basically it's about who they are, and it tells us more about what their psychology is than about what they even want. Like, for example, Homura, who is, I think, one of the best written female characters in anime. Homura, oh, this is spoilers. Damn
It's
it!
been out for like a decade, though. I think.
I know, but
so.
Briggs hasn't seen any of it.
Honestly, go ahead, man. I'm not even listening.
Okay. Not enough Chads in this conversation. So basically, Homura has this crazy desire because she loves what's her name, the main character, who I don't, Madoka, right?
Madoka.
She loves Madoka, and Madoka's the only one that really took care of her, and she basically witnessed a universe where things kept going wrong. So her wish to keep Madoka alive and whatever ended up with this crazy power that she could go back in time. And she would replay the same events over and over and over and over because of how much love she had for this other character. And because of the amount of times that it was repeating, she became a completely different person. Her character developed over these hundreds of repetitions of time as she would fail again and again and again and witness everything she cared about die before her. And she became a character that, instead of being like nice and bubbly and shy, she became edgy and sad and just, she had a mission in her mind. And you get, especially in Rebellion, this is why Rebellion is so amazing. Because Rebellion shows you more about Homura's character, how all this love she had, it's not because she was a good person. It's because she was a selfish person. And it tackles a different nuance. The typical love is always a good thing. It's a positive emotion in almost every single work of fiction. I mean, in Harry Potter, you have this whole epic love speech at least once a book, It's like, oh, Harry, you were saved. But Professor, how was I saved? Because your mother loved you. I mean... And love is the typical positive thing, power of friendship, power of love. Homura had this toxic love and a toxic friendship. And because of that, it ended up warping her into a completely different person. And I have to say, Madoka Magic is amazing. And I love the show so much.
And what you just said reminds me actually of a Heraclitus or Heraclitus quote, ancient Greek philosopher. He says you can't step into the same river twice. And the idea is that things are always changing. So the river that you step in today is going to be completely different water when you step in it again tomorrow, because the water is constantly flowing. So you would call it the same river, but is it really? And the same applies to human beings, as you said, Nux. Are you the same person when you start doing something as you are when you finish it? the chances are that you're not, because you're always changing. So again, going back to that, what it means to be human and what it means to be a person, and how can you define yourself as a person when today you're going to be different than you are tomorrow? They're all very fascinating questions, and I love when anime explore questions like that. One anime that I would say is kind of perfect for this type of stuff is the first season of Psycho-Pass.
I knew you were going to say it. I knew you were going to say it.
Because that show has likable characters, it has a good plot, it has a good world, and a fascinating villain as well. That you can
Melody, I highly suggest checking out Psycho-Pass. You will
Absolutely.
I saw the first episode several times. I don't know, it kind of upset me.
Yeah, it is upsetting. It is.
Yeah.
It can be graphic. However, it is, I think, worth it.
I had a feeling you were going to bring up Psycho-Pass with where we were going with this conversation. But I think one of the most interesting anime philosophically, and I've mentioned this before, and you still haven't seen it, is Shinsekai Yori from the New World. Melody, you've seen it?
Shinsekai Yori. No, I don't think I have.
Shinsekai Yori from the New World. But I don't really want to say anything because of spoilers. Like, I'd rather not spoiler. I'd rather you watched it, Animac. I think you would very much appreciate it.
Okay, cool.
There's no milfs. Oh, there aren't really milfs.
Living in the future are the
like, think your reading abilities on this.
Yeah, we gotta keep Melody for the read through, man. That was impressive.
I'm a hell of a reader. What?
Yeah.
Reading's cool, man.
Anyway, this isn't really a philosophy episode. This is what makes anime great for us, and anime appreciates the philosophy. I agree. I think One Piece really tackles all bases. Like, to get back to One Piece, because we're losing Briggs.
Oh, hey, One Piece, I'm back. What?
There we go. So to get Briggs back real quick, the characters are amazing. The world building is fantastic. The philosophy in One Piece, as you will see, especially in Marineford, like, that's really when you're like, God damn. The philosophy in One Piece is amazing. The psychology of certain characters, like Doflamingo, I think is fantastic. It's a jack of all trades. It's a king of all trades. One Piece is the GOAT, boys.
One Piece is king shit, man.
It is. It is.
One of the things I loved in like early One Piece, I guess I could talk about this, that won't spoil Animac, is like you get this constant idea of like who you are as a person, what your race, species, occupation. Like, it doesn't matter who you are, it's your actions that define you. Like, you got good Marines, bad Marines. You got good pirates, bad pirates. And like, Luffy is a pretty good judge of character and can kind of tell who is like worth his time, worth being a Nakama, worth being on his crew and all that. And I love that like it's more complex than Marines are justice. And then that segues into a good Doflamingo quote that I can't really talk about yet.
Nope. I was thinking of that Doflamingo quote, by the way.
Was the quote related to eating Khalifa's ass?
God damn, he knew.
Yeah, I read ahead.
He went to the wiki, looked up all future Khalifa references.
There's some good Khalifa references in unofficial One Piece material that I really appreciate.
Melody may have seen those.
Seen what?
One Piece dojins.
Dude, okay, yes, I have. Before I saw One Piece, it was with that orange hair girl.
Yes.
Now, presently, I have One Piece like going on in the background when I do stuff, like getting offline and stuff. And so I don't know, I'm on episode 30, possibly. I like the theme song.
Nox does the same thing. He has anime in the background while he does other things.
Well, it depends on the anime. Like that's how I got through Beastars.
I'm Luffy. I'm going to be the Pirate King. I don't fucking whatever, Goku.
Are you watching dub? Are you watching dub?
I can't. I don't speak Japanese. I can't listen to the Japanese. I have to hear the dubs.
Well, there's your problem.
That's why I watch Beastars dub, boys.
I don't like how it's drawn. I don't fucking.
No, I didn't like the art style at first either because it's so quirky. But you get used to it. And at first I was like, these girls aren't even hot. But now I'm like, yo, these girls are hot, man.
Okay, I know what you mean.
So I guess
Briggs, can we just appreciate the fact that This is Animax Chad formation. He's praising One
He's
Piece.
defending One Piece. I love it.
Oh, I
but
have no
like, I
idea.
guess within topic of this this podcast, there's certain things that like anime do well and certain things they don't do well. And I do think the animation and art style within the anime isn't the most appealing, especially in the beginning, and the pacing later on is terrible. Which is why like the things that the anime doesn't do well, you don't have to deal with the manga. So all the stuff that me and Nux were praising earlier, mainly like it applies to the anime as well. But like the manga has it, and it doesn't have the negatives that the anime brings to the table.
Yeah, I think the manga is much better, but I don't think the anime is bad at that point either. And I mentioned Beastars, real quick, because that is an anime that I had in the background. Because I watched the first episode of Beastars, and I was like, bro, this is Zootopia is better. And then basically that was my thoughts after episode 1. So in order to continue, because I did want to finish it, because I heard really good things. I watched the dub. I left it on in the background, and I did enjoy it. I did think it was really good. Almost Zootopia tier.
I'm gonna murder you. I'm gonna shake you. You don't
I just said that for you.
Bro, I don't get it. I thought Zootopia was so overrated.
I thought Zootopia was fine. I think Beastars is overrated, but I did like Beastars. I thought it was good.
Let
my
go see
my
his
biggest.
best boy.
I mean, he didn't have much competition.
Louis.
Oh, Louis. Oh yeah, Louis. He was cool. I liked Louis actually.
Who was Louis?
I think the best Louis was
Deer.
the deer guy.
Oh, he was cool.
Yeah, he was cool. I think the
I'm
best
a tiger
character
fanboy.
was the panda dude. The tiger was such a dumbass, bro.
Yeah, but he's a
Yeah.
Chad.
Yes, he was a Chad.
That's true. That's true.
The panda
but-
was like Bato. Like,
dude. I love the panda.
yeah, panda's
Panda
chill.
Panda was amazing. But when it comes to Beastars, there is an overall philosophy. Like there is a powerful lesson that Beastars teaches about like society and racism, and it really covers all those topics. My issue with Beastars is they hammered down on it way too hard. That's my biggest complaint. It's like the characters were almost in the backseat compared to how hard they were hammering down. I am a carnivore. I am evil. I am an herbivore. I should be afraid of all carnivores because carnivores, bro. And
Yeah,
mean-
they could have been a little bit more subtle. After the
I
first
think
couple of
if-
episodes, once it was ingrained, I feel like they just continued to like just push it in our faces when it could have been a little bit more subtle.
It makes sense.
I
And then
think-
he's traumatized.
Yeah.
no, it does make sense. I'm with you on that. I think that if a little of the time that was spent on the internal monologues about racism, if a little bit of that time was spent on developing characters, I think I would have liked it more.
You know what's something that Beastars does that you don't normally see a lot?
Sex?
It. Oh yeah, that furry sex. No, they show a lot more than they tell, and that I think is a sign of a very good show. And one show that does that sticks out. It's called Breaking Bad. They show.
I've heard
they
of that,
don't
yeah.
tell.
I've seen that whole show, Nux.
I was kidding, Animac.
Okay.
Doesn't it
Adam,
make
have
it
you
so
not?
much
I'm pretty
better?
sure you haven't seen Breaking Bad. Was that the joke that I missed? Because you don't get my Breaking Bad references when I say them. Hello?
Like I've seen it, yes, but you're asking Nux?
No, he's asking you.
I'm asking you. if you've
Yeah, I
seen it.
have. I've seen the whole show. Yeah, I
How
enjoyed
did you
it.
get my I'm the one who knocks references a couple of episodes ago? This is so sad.
Well, to be fair, I've seen it like when it was
Animac
coming
doesn't
out.
get JoJo references until you say nice, and then he's like, "Oh, that was a JoJo reference."
I saw it. I saw it way back when it was coming out, so like years ago. So I don't remember like specific stuff from it.
I just.
I'm
watched it.
hungry.
What's in my head?
Get it, Briggs?
Melody, I think you're approaching Arlong Park right now, right? In One Piece?
I don't fucking know.
Oh no. I feel like okay, you're around that range. That's when One Piece really starts to pick up. I think you'll enjoy Arlong Park.
The last episode I saw was that pirate dude who always lied. He has a weird nose, and he's like, leave your town. I know everything I said has always been a lie, but trust me, you're
Usopp.
all gonna get killed."
Usopp.
Oh, so
That's the
you're like
episode.
14 episodes in. Okay.
Okay, that's where I am. Exactly where I am.
Around
Usopp.
19 is where like I really start loving it.
boy.
But then around 30 is when like Arlong Park, which is a lot of people's favorite arcs, happen. As you can tell, I'm a One Piece fanboy. Also, Panda from Beastars is a One Piece reference.
I was thinking of that. I swear.
Is
to
it?
you, man. Yes, of course. And
Bro,
Much like JoJo's, everything could be a One Piece reference.
best character in all of anime is Bato's dog from Ghost in the Shell.
I love him so much.
I think the dog and Elfin lead, and that was a good character.
Ugh, Elfin lead. Ugh.
All right, Animac, take it away.
Shout out to Future Mech. He got my reference from the latest chapter of the novel over on the Patreon Discord. What else did you want me to say?
No, because Melody doesn't like Elfin lead.
Oh, you don't like
I
Elfin
did-
Lead?
I did until she gets her brain hit, and then it's like, hey, let's take the show that was really cool, and now she's dumb and hot. Like, come on, you
don't
were
like
doing
Mew?
so well.
You don't like
Nope.
Mew?
She was
Nope.
awesome till she got the brain damage.
I love that aspect of it because she becomes a split personality, right? So she becomes either the incredibly innocent one or the completely psychotic murderous one. And then as the show progresses, she kind of once again goes back to being Lucy, the actual person she is, that has elements of both. So I liked it for that reason.
I see.
So I'm more neutral to Elfin lead. I liked it a lot, but I don't know. It's not one of my top tier. I think
feel
one
like
of
the reason I like New is like I feel like that's almost a coping mechanism psychologically for everything that she's been through. It's like an escape, like a mental escape from all the trauma.
I could see that.
So, I mean, I mentioned that JoJo references for me is one of the top tier things that makes an anime great. But I think another thing that's overlooked is the psychology of anime characters, especially. Because even though I like a crazy cast, like a cool cast that develops, if I can't get behind their psychologies, if I'm not fascinated by just a wacky mind, I don't know. I feel like that there's something missing in that show for me. Like, as a simple example, the psychology of my 3 favorite anime characters. One second. I'm going to look at my top characters list just because I'm curious how many of the top 10. Because Briggs pointed out that all of my favorite anime characters are psychos.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's because you can relate to them. That was my theory.
Like,
Love you, Nux.
Like, listen to that
Me
laugh.
too, bro.
Listen to that laugh.
All right. Anyway, so my top anime characters, obviously Lord Twiga, right? Like whatever. Gintoki, Guts, Hisoka, Sinbad, Ban, Itachi, Zoro, Reagan, Kira Yoshikage. They're all psychos.
Gay magician.
I am
magician.
honestly
magician.
surprised that you are lying to the world by saying that you prefer Guts over Griffith. Obviously, Griffith is a better character according to you.
You see, I like Griffith a lot. I think he's probably in my top 30. But Guts, man, Guts is a fantastic character. You don't think Guts has one of the most interesting psychologies and philosophies, as well as his overall struggle of all time? When I watch this man fight, he's carrying all of his past experiences and traumas on his shoulders, and he's lifting that weight as he's swinging that heckin' frick big sword. No reference to anything, Melody. Don't get it twisted.
Hey man, I love Berserk. I can't joke on that. I love it.
You're gonna carry that weight.
I gotta carry that weight.
No, I was referencing the big
busted
sword part.
I
but
mean, he
thank you.
literally swings that sword and defies fate, or against fate itself.
So he's struggling against destiny. How insane is that? And all the things that scarred him to make him who he is now, dude. He's
No, I think-
such an intricate character.
I
Even
think
though a
he's
lot of
awesome.
people, if you read a modern chapter of Berserk, let's say, even if it's one of the ones with beautiful art and amazing fight scene, I could see someone be like, Guts have big sword, go brrrr. Like, I could see someone saying that.
No,
But-
I think it's amazing, and I think there's like Nietzschean aspects to his philosophy and his personality,
Yeah,
which I think are really
absolutely.
fascinating. But Nux, you forgot to mention the most important thing, and that's that Guts was inspired by Kirito, the Black Swordsman.
Right, Kirito is the true black swordsman. But I think Guts surpassed him a little bit, like, along the way.
I mean, it is a constant
You think?
struggle. The true struggle is not against fate; it's against
Video
Kirito.
games. You see, one of the reasons why I think Kirito is a better character than Guts is because he has 2 swords instead of 1.
Yeah, bro.
And as Zoro has proven to us time and time again, the more swords, the better. Yes.
Wait, like in the One Piece guy.
That's the Zoro I was referring to. Thank you.
Yeah, I was curious because I'm Zoro, the guy with the mask and the horse.
I mean, that is a Zoro. That is a Zoro.
That guy is also Zoro.
Yeah,
Yes.
Zoro, what the fuck? He's like, if I only had 7 more swords, I could have won this match.
There we go. You
Like,
see?
what?
Logic.
His
I don't
name's Zolo.
understand.
He's like a samurai.
Yes. What, Melody? I think you should view One Piece as hentai metaphors. Like, if only I had a few more swords, I would have been able to, you know. Because I mean, I've heard some of your favorites, your favorite genres, and I have to say, I think that would definitely fit the bill.
Wow, Nux, I didn't think that you would take the discussion in this direction. That is
I'm
very
just trying to get her to watch
disappointing,
One
bro.
Piece, okay? I will go to any lengths.
I mean, I don't know. There's so many I need to watch. I need to finish Ghost. But no, I'm seeing people in chat saying Griffith did nothing wrong. I just want to interject and say Griffith did some things wrong, but I
Yes,
understand.
Obviously.
And that's
Obviously.
what makes an anime great. If
And-
you see someone do things wrong, but you understand where they're coming from, that is
Yeah.
a brilliant psychology of a character that's crafted in a way that we can understand them. Which is what I think is one of the most important things in anime for me. A brilliant
Yeah.
psychology. Like
You don't-
Ban from Seven Deadly Sins. Seven Deadly Sins isn't the most well-renowned, popular, brilliantly written anime of all time, right? The plot sucks ass, bro. Seven Deadly Sins plot is garbage, but it's
Depends
still
on
an
the
amazing
arc.
story.
It depends on the
every arc is plot-wise. Every arc is pretty trash.
No, there's some great ones. Like
All right,
the
tell me a good plot.
Mile arc.
I'd say that's based on character development. That's not plot. The plot was stupid. We still, even after the entire series ended, you don't know why Gother did that whole thing he did.
I think mainly I
None of
watched
it's
Seven Deadly
explained.
Sins for the characters, the character interactions, development, their backstories, and the cool fights. You know?
So I like the psychology of the characters
Well,
because
psychology
when
adds
you-
to a good character, right?
Absolutely, but I think it's one of the key aspects, like Meliodas, Ban, Escanor, Gother. All 4 of those characters in the main cast have brilliant psychologies.
No,
And
it's true.
Esterosa, bro. Oh my god, that guy's amazing.
Escanor is such a fascinating character because he's like the chadliest of chads, but you know that he would pay for a Merlin OnlyFans.
Yes, he's a Chad and a simp. The ultimate contradiction
And
within
bro,
himself.
so he is the embodiment of simping is king shit. Escanor.
Because he would actually,
Yes.
but he only simps after Merlin, to be fair. But also, he would simp after Merlin in both forms, even his
Yes.
proud and prideful one.
Dude, I love it. He's like, everyone stand back. I could fight this man alone. And he's like walking up to his enemy, and Merlin's like, no, I think we should all help you. Okay, no problem. No, but Escanor has an arc after the that arc that Briggs has yet to read, which really cemented Escanor as one of my favorite anime characters. Like, you know what I'm talking about in anime.
Yeah, I know everything.
Everything. But that arc is so good. So I think that's one of the most important things for me. And I think that a great important thing to mention at this point, Animec likes philosophy, Briggs likes chads, Melody likes hentai, I like psychology.
And robots.
She likes
Which is why I
technology,
think-
which is why she likes Steins Gate, I'm assuming.
Which is why Rant's
Love.
The Quest for Hikari. Bro, now that is a classic. A modern classic. Rant's, bro, he's a Chad. He has a brilliant philosophy.
We were playing
It's a hentai.
We were playing it yesterday. We were celebrating playing Rants because I wasn't playing it on my normal site. Because on my normal site there's a terms of service, and so when I play Rants on there, I hide comments or I'll try and skip things. And we were it was a Patreon stream, so we were in a password locked room, and so we just played it freely.
Yeah, every public
Big
platform
flag.
nowadays doesn't let you do anything like even the slightest bit mature.
Yeah, mature. See, that's the issue with hentai games, though, is so commonly they love dropping that R bomb just so much. Ah, rants. Why? It's hard. Like
Rants.
I recommend hentai to people, and they're like, "Well, that looked interesting, but it had slaves in it." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's hentai. That's doujin. That's."
I
yeah."
mean, to be fair, you told me that on your doujin sites, you blacklisted all vanilla doujins.
Vanilla's all I like.
Sorry to expose you like that.
I blacklisted MILFs and doujins and animals and
Vanilla.
pee.
Blacklisted MILFs. Wow.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No, I'm not
Absolutely
sorry.
ridiculous.
I can have a preference.
No, you
It's
can't.
okay.
You cannot. But
Okay.
I agree with the pee and stuff. I've watched many a hentai where I'm like, yo, this is great, and then they do like that shit. I'm like, why? We were wholesome. It was beautiful. It was great. And then you do this, and why? And why?
It's kind of like self-aware wolves. Anyone been on that Reddit subreddit?
No.
Nope. Never heard of
Self-aware
it.
wolves. It's basically just quotes either on Twitter or the news or something where someone says something like, yeah, exactly. And then they say one more sentence and you're like, you were so close, you idiot. And with Dojin, it's like the self-aware, like, yes, this was
I think
perfect. It had
the funny-
everything. And then it pees. Like,
Yeah.
you were
And
so
everyone acts like it's totally fucking normal. Like, why?
I think the funniest news interview I've ever seen in my life is when they were having a conversation and they were like, there are some things that you have to watch without volume, and then one of the news anchors is like incest porn.
Yeah, what was that? What was that? I saw that.
Oh my god.
I was dying.
He
It's
tried
so
to
funny.
defend it and it got worse.
Yeah, and then he defended. He's like, because it's all good, but you don't want to hear the conversations because you can maybe imagine that they're not related. And it's like, oh god, just shut
Bro,
up, man.
just
Please.
all he has to say is not related by blood. Not related by blood.
I don't think
What are you
not everyone
doing,
knows
Step
the
Bro?
ultimate anime escape maneuver.
Yeah.
I still think my way of watching hentai is superior. You click the random button and just hope for the best. And then
That's
it's
the
like,
Chad
Wow.
way.
No,
I
man,
do
I've
that
been
every
burned.
time.
I've been
And then I
burned
open
too
up a
many
video like,
times.
what the fuck? And then I go. it makes it a fun experience.
No, I've been burned too many times. Like I go and I'm like, oh wow, these are some beautiful, beautiful elf women, and then it's like, why are there so many orcs? Why are there so many orcs?
You gotta blacklist stuff, man.
Randomize.
That's too
This is-
ballsy.
this
You're
is
playing
True
with fire.
philosophy right here. Like you guys have
Could die.
greatly different philosophies
That's true.
on your hentai, consuming. You have the randomizer versus the blocker.
Mm,
And then you have Animac who meticulously searches for hours on end.
for MILFs.
And then you have Knox who never seen a GNTO in his life.
I've never seen a Gentai in my life.
Wow. I don't believe that. That's preposterous. I do not believe that. I don't understand.
All right. Hey,
It's like,
not everything I
how?
do is understandable. What can I say?
it's nonsensical tomfoolery.
A lot of things he does is not understandable.
It is nonsensical tomfoolery.
But no, to go back to the whole Griffith thing that we talked about, I think a great villain in anime
Is
is
the
still a
horse from
villain.
Berserk.
No, it's still a villain, right? It's still someone who's doing bad things. However, you can understand how they came to be who they are. You can understand their motivations.
Yeah.
Same thing with
Thanos.
Makishima Shogo from
Psychopath.
Psychopaths, right? Also does terrible, deplorable things that you would never condone yourself. But then the philosophy he has behind it and why he's doing what he's doing, you can kind of understand where he's coming from.
So you mentioned Thanos, Melody.
Yeah.
I have issues with Thanos.
Yeah, so do I. I feel like, does anyone else feel like Marvel movies and like most of these mainstream Western movies are just dumbed down anime?
Huh. No, I didn't
I never
know
really
that.
thought of it that way, to be honest. But Thanos, you could tell what they were going for. And they wanted to just come up with some way that it could justify all these things he's doing. Because essentially, in Infinity War, Thanos was the protagonist of Infinity War. Like, it followed his story, you know? And in, what was the last one called? Endgame. And in Endgame, Thanos was a trash character. He was so bad. He made no sense. But
Now
all in
I'm
all,
thinking. Oh, sorry.
yeah.
Hmm?
Now that what you were saying. Now that you're
Oh,
thinking.
because now I'm thinking. I'm seeing a connection. Thanos from Infinity Wars, because I just watched it. Griffith from the more beginning, and Cubey are all very similar because they're utilitarian. The
Yeah.
philosopher John Stuart Mills, he talked about utilitarianism, which was like emphasis on happiness and good shit, and less shitty things. So like destroying everything for the betterment, the greater good in a sense. And I'm thinking that's with Cubey, that's with Thanos, that's with Griffith. They wanted this idealized good.
So yes and no. I don't think that's Griffith. I don't think so at all. I think
He
Cubey
wanted
did.
to say-
Cubey did do that, right? Cubey and Griffith both. Cubey and Thanos both did that. But Griffith, it's very unclear that he had the greater good in mind. It was much more apparent that he had himself in mind first and foremost.
Well, yeah.
Like, which part of Berserk are you referring to? Because I read the whole manga.
Because, you read the manga.
Oh, you're talking about the eclipse?
The Golden Age.
You think he did the eclipse for the betterment of mankind?
No, it's. See,
Well, he had his whole unjust childhood and suffering, and he pledged to create, a kingdom that would be just by any means necessary. That's the whole thing.
exactly.
I think he did the
but
eclipse
he's-
because he wanted his dick back.
Yeah, he was dickless, bro.
Right? Okay. Anyways,
And yeah,
Which is
in
why he did
hell,
nothing wrong.
he wasn't.
I
Oh, he
honestly
did a
think
lot
I
of
would
things
rather.
wrong.
I think Griffith's quest for his dick is far cooler than Thanos looking for the Infinity Stones. Let's just be honest. Griffith's search for his stones was way cooler.
just to go back to utilitarianism, yeah. So
I'm glad you did,
utilitarianism.
'cause that's one of my favorite. It's one of the most interesting philosophies that's tackled in stories because it's logical to a point of fault. Like one of my
Wait,
favorite
what are
anime.
you talking about now? Because I was talking about utilitarianism and you just interrupted me.
Yeah, right. That's what I did. I interrupted you because I wanted to talk about it more. I'm sorry.
Well, let me talk
Anyway.
about it first, and then you can talk about it because I want to talk specifically about the fact that, so to oversimplify utilitarianism is just the greatest good for the greatest number, and that of people, and that is maximizing suffering, minimizing pain, and that would be more of the Jeremy Bentham version of it. John Stuart Mill actually has an interesting caveat where he thinks that, yes, I'm a utilitarian, but certain types of activities are more valuable than others. So it's not just one for one. So, for example, Mill would say that intellectual activities are more valuable than just getting drunk. So he would make a distinction there. And also one of the things that he thought was valued more than anything would be free speech and expression, because he thought that that was necessary for a society to function properly. Otherwise, there would be chaos. So for him, for example, he would put free speech as something that is above or just getting the most order and happiness for everyone by force and by censoring people. So Mill is a bit different in that sense as a utilitarian, but he was a student of Bentham.
Exactly. I was mixing them up.
Go
Which
on,
I guess
Nux.
is also
Anyway, speaking of utilitarianism, two of my favorite utilitarianistic protagonists are Lelouch and Kiritsugu. Kiritsugu from Fate Zero, Lelouch from Code Geass. And they both, because it could very easily be construed in media as the good guy or the bad guy, right? Like, because the whole concept of, let's say, the ends justifies the means, it's a very dangerous way to approach anything. And Lelouch kind of realizes that at points. And his character almost goes full circle. But, I don't want to spoil anything about either of the two characters, because they're two of my favorite characters ever.
Do it.
But, no, Briggs! Why?
Code Geass came out so long ago. We're allowed to talk about it.
Yeah, I don't know. Would Lelouch be a utilitarian?
I would say so.
Like, he wanted, to create a better world.
Yeah, but he would sacrifice people like pawns in order to win the chess game.
I suppose.
And he was a
that's
JoJo fan.
That's a good way to look
Yeah,
at
there was
it.
There
many
we go.
scenes where civilians were sacrificed in order for like the greater good, or what he thought was the greater good.
Like, for example, you know that one Euphemia moment at the end of the first season?
Mhm.
So, for example, his original plan was to go in there, give her a gun to shoot him, so that he could say that she shot me and she declared war. And originally, he was going to use his Gias on her to shoot him. And she convinced him out of it, and then other stuff happened. But he did not want the neutral zone. Because if there is a neutral Japanese zone, then it can never grow past that. All of a sudden, there's some sort of quasi-peace with Japan still being stepped underfoot. But even more than that, Lelouch he made believe he was fighting for the Japanese, when in all honesty, he didn't care about them at all. He lied through his teeth to them so he could take his own personal revenge on Britannia. So what he really did, he did not want a neutral zone at all. What he wanted was for Yuffie to shoot him so that he can declare war, so that they can destroy them and then continue to declare war on the greater Britannian Empire.
Yes, because
that's an ultimate utilitarianistic plan.
It's a strategy because, so if he had the neutral zone declared, then the people of Japan would be pacified. So it's like that Marxist concept of reform actually hurts the revolution because people become pacified, and then it slows down the revolution. So they want revolution, not reform. And I think there's a lot of parallels between Napoleon and the French Revolution and Lelouch, in my opinion. A lot of the stuff that Napoleon did, Lelouch ends up doing, kind of thing, except the whole
ending. The end. Which is the best ending in all of anime ever, period.
It's quite good, but I don't know.
The best.
I don't know about that.
The best
ever
written.
I think it's my favorite ending as well.
It's not only is it my favorite ending in anime, it's my favorite ending of any story ever.
No, but it's because some people don't understand Clannad after story ending.
No, I think that most people understand Clannad.
I can't understand an ending that I dropped.
Hey!
Exactly. But I actually think that the Count of Monte Cristo ending is better.
I did like the Count of Monte Cristo ending, but I don't
like
think
the
it
book.
was the same league.
The book, not Genkutsu.
I read the book also. So, but I also don't think it's as good.
Genkutsu is completely different. The ending than
because Genkutsu it follows the kid as the main character as opposed to the Count. Like,
yes, correct. So it starts like way after
it starts at like halfway through the book is where the anime starts.
Yeah, whereas the whole point of the book is to understand the struggle of the Count.
Yeah. I would reread the book if it wasn't like over 1,000 pages.
Yeah, actually, I started rereading it and then I kind of paused it, but I should get back to it because it's so good.
It's as many pages as One Piece has chapters.
No, it's 1,200. I think it's like 1,200 pages. Obviously, you got to read the unabridged. Reading abridged counts in one.
No, I read the unabridged.
Yeah,
right.
That'll get you a fucking block on Twitter from me.
Wow. Yeah. Well, what makes anime great? JoJo memes. Can we please get back to the meat and potatoes of the conversation? I think it's important. We address that elephant in the... It's important we address the elephant in the asshole.
Oh, Charlie, when did you get in here?
Charlie.
Welcome.
I love his tinfoil condom thing. That's fucking awesome.
Really had to put my tinfoil condom on for that one. It's the 5G towers. The 5G towers are killing everyone.
Someone in chat said pacing and ending when Nux said what makes anime great. And by that logic, One Piece sucks eggs.
Well, I mean, hopefully One Piece will end eventually.
Yeah,
right?
one
You
of these
told me
days.
about One Piece.
One Piece is pretty great. Not gonna lie.
It is great. But at the ending of One Piece, I think that he can pull off a real banger, honestly.
You hope so, after all this investment.
No, but I mean, like, there are some anime where you can't necessarily foresee an amazing ending. Like, as good as Naruto was, it's not the kind of story that you can ever be, like, expecting yourself to get blown away by the ending. Don't make a reference to anything I just said about being blown away. Okay?
Are you talking to me or Mel?
I was talking to Mel.
All right.
Because I can't get away with it unless I say that.
So I feel like it's going to be hard for them to, like, for the One Piece to be as grand or great as, like, it's been hyped up for so long, obviously. Well, but I do have faith in Oda having a good ending to the series based on everything that's being set up right now.
So I'm not going to lie. I expect at this point that Luffy will die at the end of One Piece. I think it will happen. I've said it before, and I'm saying it again. And it's not like more death flags showed up or anything since where Animax up to or whatever. I expect Luffy to die at the end of One Piece. I will not be surprised.
Everyone die?
Not in the story necessarily though. Like Naruto had a happy ending at the end of Naruto, and I wouldn't be surprised. Like there's no point in Naruto where I thought Naruto might die. You know that? Never. We know that at the end of the story, they'll beat the bad guys. They'll become the Hokage. Hurrah! Everyone's super happy for him because he was shunned all his life, and now people respect him. No one expected past that. I expect One Piece to blow my mind. Don't stop it.
He said it again.
Yeah, I have a lot of faith in Oda at this point. It's time and time again he like continues to surprise us and just prove himself.
The only thing that I think would be disappointing as far as the ending goes, if they find the One Piece and it's a treasure map to the Two Piece, and it's like, get ready, boys.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping in that Demon Slayer wouldn't end. That they would just have to fight Super Muzan after, but it didn't happen. It's like Muzan was like a son to me, but he was nothing compared to Super Muzan.
Yeah, but I honestly think that the One Piece ending has the potential to really.
I have
be
so
fantastic.
many ideas, but I can't talk about it.
I also have so many ideas, but yeah.
I don't.
What do you mean? You don't have opinions? You don't got opinions?
Well,
About
she's
One
not
Piece, no.
caught up to One Piece or even far enough in the story to.
I know. I just wanted to say opinions the way Mousy does.
Yeah, because it's a Mousy reference. I know I got it. Animac didn't though, because he doesn't get references
Oh, no.
unless it's nice.
I get some references. I'm just slow and nervous. I don't know how you guys sound so not nervous.
I mean, we've done this 100-something times.
Oh, that's fair.
Hundreds. By the way,
You're-
did you know
you're-
that?
you're a Twitch streamer though? Like you're constantly like live.
So this is like thinking. What?
To be fair, this is a
is
lot
like-
more like sophisticated than most of our podcasts. That's for sure.
Who? What?
Like,
Yeah, why are you sophisticating us, Mel?
I think it's you. I think yeah. She brought out the philosopher in anime.
Also-
Well, yeah, but I was mixing people up. I had so much to say, and I mixed it all up because I'm nervous.
Fair enough.
Right, happens. Did you know that your display picture melody reminded me? 69 is also 69 upside down.
Holy shit!
Mind.
Yeah, and you know who
Nuts
said that
blown.
first? Socrates, boys.
Yeah.
I'm out of here. I'm gone. This is I'm done. I'm out of here.
Yeah. Well, anywho,
Anything else? Big
This was
thing
a
that we're
fun
missing.
episode.
Are we missing anything else about what makes anime great? We have MILFs. We have characters.
references.
We have JoJo references. We have plot. We have philosophy. We have
Yes.
cool sci-fi stuff.
Sci-fi stuff. There's so much. Sci-fi stuff is fun because not only can you create like you're creating a world where all the cool science stuff you want is functional, but also you can invent new things. Just like in Star Trek, it's a human show. Things that they invented in that show eventually came to fruition. So the things you design in your anime has the potential in 10, 20 years to become reality in the human world, not just in the anime.
man, I'm excited to get trapped in Sword Art Online. It's gonna be
Yeah.
great.
So
Why would you be excited for that?
I've always actually loved sci-fi, including reading fiction on sci-fi or watching movies or anime, because sci-fi is by definition philosophical, because you're looking at what could potentially happen in the future, what our actions today could lead to, and what are the moral and philosophical implications of that for us as people and as a society as a whole, or even as our whole planet if you're talking about interspace stuff. So I think sci-fi is great and inherently philosophical, and so I do appreciate your appreciation for sci-fi.
Well, I mean, a lot of it, like even Ghost in the Shell, I'm seeing similarities to like today. Like
And
things.
I mean,
sort of-
I think Serial Experiments Lane, even though it's one of my least favorite anime, it's not like it didn't predict a lot of truth about getting sucked into the online world. Like that's a very let's not talk about Serial Experiments Lane.
Present day, present time.
Nice.
Actually,
I have
wait,
to
what
say
is his
though,
name?
as far as sci-fi goes, I would never consider sci-fi to be one of my favorite anime genres per se, because I don't think it's necessarily purely anime that makes good sci-fi. Whereas I think when it comes to character psychology, I think anime literally does it better than other pieces of media. I've never seen pretty much any real life movie, or any Western show that tackles such complex psychological traits aside from the Joker, pretty much.
The Expanse?
What?
The Expanse?
I don't know what that is.
Hey, chat. Have you guys seen The Expanse?
There are some good Western sci-fi, like
Right, I was
Ultimate
gonna say-
Carbon.
Like
portray some
my
interesting
favorite.
things.
So I love the Ender's Game novels. I think Ender's Game is one of my favorite sci-fis. I like Ender's Game.
I've read Ender's Game, but then I
A lot.
didn't read the sequels.
The sequels are good. One or two of them aren't great, but especially the one right after Ender's Game, The Shadow of a Giant, is so good.
But yeah, I loved in Ender's Game how blogging ends up becoming a kind of like
Yeah,
a
a
tool
real
for
thing.
world domination.
Yeah.
But it makes sense.
No, so Ender's Game, the books, not the movie. The movie was kind of meh, but the books were great. And I think I'm sure you heard of this anime. It's so your type. Have you ever read The Foundation?
Is that Asimov, the Foundation series?
Yeah, the
I haven't-
series.
I know of it, but I haven't read it.
So
It was a show,
Isaac
wasn't it?
Asimov. I don't think it was a show.
I have read a lot of
Wait, who
Asimov, to be
was-
fair, but I haven't read the Foundation series.
That-
So I read a lot of his
Which-
short stories.
That
Which
would
of
be
the-
preposterous to read all of Asimov. That's like a library.
So
I've
I read all the Foundation. I read he made this other one, The Thought Elevator. THOUT. It's not about an elevator with thoughts in it. Okay, all right. He wrote iRobot, I think.
So
Yes,
I've read a lot
oh
of
my
his
God, iRobot.
short stories, including iRobot. I believe that was a short story. There's I read a collection of his short stories, including some of the most famous ones, many of which were later turned into TV shows or movies in some way.
Yeah, I mean, so for me, when we talk about different qualities that make anime specifically great, sci-fi wouldn't necessarily be so high on my list because I think Western stories do hit the sci-fi notes really well. I think Foundation, Ender's Game are Steins Gate tier. I think they're really good. Whereas psychology is something that I think hits harder in anime. There's no character like Bond in Western fiction. It's my favorite Western movies, let's say, I don't know, there's Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is great. As far as specific character psychology, it's not really there. It's not as present.
My
in general,
theory.
though, it's hard to compare movies to TV series. So unless you watch a lot
You're
of
right.
IRL TV series, it would be hard to make a comparison.
A lot of
Sorry.
oh no, so sorry. A lot of the whole
Except for Skynet. Skynet's a Western story.
a lot of the concepts that I see that I think the reason why anime can afford to be more exploring these deep philosophical things and psychologies is that Western shows and movies, they require a big budget, and so what they do by definition is they try to appeal to the largest audience possible to make the most money to justify their budget. So they're not gonna go into the stuff that some people enjoy, like psychology and
They're
philosophy.
more focused on bombast.
Yeah, they'll do the relationships and the romances and all this other stuff that just someone surfing on Netflix is gonna find and be like, yeah, I'm into this. Because
No, it's painful.
but for anime, I feel like they don't need as big a
Yeah.
budget to do an animated show with voice actors rather than real actors and sets and all this stuff, so they can afford to be more genre specific and don't need to justify getting everyone to be into this show.
Which is
It's
why I
still $2 million
think
though.
Yeah, no, it's expensive for sure. But when someone starts writing an anime, it's usually through a manga or whatever as a passion project. That's how most big stories start. Like One Piece has been going on for 20 years. It started off with a 20-year-old guy, he wanted to write a story about a kid following his dreams. And he just started putting it on paper. And then it got enough of a following in order for it to become bigger. It's not all about, most anime don't start out from big name producer man wants to make $1 billion in the box office.
Yes,
What
correct.
does he do? Well, superheroes, boys. That's not how anime start. Anime starts off with an individual with a dream, and I think anime is an embodiment of imagination coming to life. And I think that there's so much more personal, love put into an anime than like the high budget Western movies.
Yeah, and also now in the more recent times, I feel like a lot of Western stuff comes specifically from a certain part, from Hollywood, California, right? So, and a lot of the people, producers, the whole industry is very much, they kind of think the same way, and there are certain things that are acceptable and that are not in terms of political correctness now. So you can't really explore characters as much, because if you have a villain who is kind of also likable in a way that is not acceptable socially anymore, they're gonna get canceled. If they have a sympathetic character who makes a joke that's offensive, they're gonna get canceled. So I think there's a lot of limitations now on these Hollywood media productions with how they can be, because they're all afraid of getting canceled.
I can see that, absolutely.
Yo, Nux, you should definitely watch Black Mirror. It has a lot of good philosophies, but also psychologies involved.
Well, maybe
Mirror's
when we
crazy.
finish whatever we're watching now, Briggs.
Yeah, I do like a lot of Black Mirror episodes, but because it's so episodic, there are some episodes that I like a lot less.
Oh, 100%. There's some trash episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Rick and Morty. It's better than every sci-fi anime. Period. Rick and Morty. Rick and Morty, 100 years. 100 years.
100
Rick
years,
and Morty
Rick
is
and Morty.
You goof. Do you guys like sci-fi or what is it called? Twilight Zone. Is that more fantasy?
So I think that there's some good.
but
Again,
there's some sci-fi
some good,
aspects to
some
it.
bad. It's also very episodic. Some have very powerful philosophical messages, and other I think are just boring.
Yeah, I agree. So I love some of them, and other ones I'm just like, mildly
same.
interesting.
All
Yeah.
right, I think we should wrap it up and get to the read-through, boys.
Sounds good. Thank you so much, Melody, for joining us. I appreciated your references to John Stuart Mill and other stuff, proving my thesis that I discussed with you previously before we went
But
live.
I mixed it up. I mixed it up.
It's okay. It's okay. Knox and Briggs, thank you guys for
Nuts
joining
and
us as well.
Briggs.
No problem. Nux and Briggs.
No problem.
Wow.
Yeah, just again a reminder that you can check out Project Melody on Twitch, YouTube, and many other platforms.
And
Lots
she
of
will be
other platforms.
Linked in the description of the YouTube video.
Links will be in the description.
All
And
right, should I call in the fam to join
you
us?
can call
for
in the
read-through?
fam. And guys, remember
who are we
that
calling in?
you can now check out the new chapter of the web novel on web novel. Just Google Rant Cafe web novel or whatever.
Damn, Langer
It's,
dropped another 5,000 magical bitches to say, just a PSA, Evanito is currently cosplaying Hestia. Also, Dex cosplays Nux. Oh no.
Yay!
Oh no.
Wait, who do we need for this episode of the read through? It's Iron Mouse, Recon, and Dakota, right?
Yeah, and is Mel staying?
What?
You-
Oh no, I'm sorry.
You're invited to stay, but feel free to if you'd like.
I don't even know what I would be supposed to.
There is one
Do-
character available that we weren't able to fill up. So if you want to stay, you can. But if you're busy, no worries.
You need me to fill something up for you?
Yes.
You see what I mean, Briggs?
Chat,
I can-
Power Stone me up, please. Link in the chat.
I can try. How long would it be? I know tonight is movie night with the science team.
How long do you think it'd be, Animac?
I don't know, man, because we have 2 chapters, so it's up to you guys.
What do you mean it's up to us? I mean, I can read as fast as you want.
I would
Just
say
tell me
like-
a speed, and I will read at that speed.
Probably like 45 minutes. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, if you want.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah! We
All right.
love your company. It's always appreciated. Thank you, Yubi, for 1,500 bits. You're a legend.
Thank you so much.
Evie.
So, Melody, you are a cat girl named Sophia.
Sophia.
All right.
She
Feel
doesn't
free to
talk
invite
that
the
much,
people.
this
I
is
gotta
so
use the
sad.
bathroom real quick.
Yeah, I'll go too. I was
I
gonna wait
invited
till we
the people.
start, but I'll go.
Wait,
Can I
what are you
what?
guys doing? I don't understand. How can a man piss
Bro,
this much?
we're chats.
Huh?
We're trying to, drink water, drink the fluids.
Maybe he's pregnant.
Oh, you know
Are
what,
you
Melody?
pregnant?
No, Melody.
What?
All of a sudden, you said defensive.
Are you pregnant? He's
I think I'm on.
I don't-
in the
Hey,
unicorn.
Dakota
I do
joined.
not have any virtual
Uh-oh.
e-girls that I'm shipped
Oh,
with,
God.
so I'm not pregnant.
Okay. What I
Hey, Dakota.
sure, yeah. Okay. What?
Hey, Dakota, I'll be right back.
Okay. I'll replace him.
Where's the
I'll
script?
replace him. What is up, guys? It is Dakota Broski here from the Kinky Tavern. And today we're going to be reading 2 more chapters of the Rant Cafe Isekai.
Are you perchance drunk?
Oh no, I'm sick.
Rip.
Aw.
I'll have to get a beer for you. One second. I'll be back.
Don't
Oh, by the way,
Can I
Melody,
have beer?
this is Dakota Broski.
Hey.
I'll have to get a beer for you. One second.
Hey.
Hey.
Can
And
I
then
have beer?
this is Dakota Broski. Iron
Hey.
House. We hear massive echo from you.
Heard an echo. Who sounded like me?
That's not. I'll be back in a second.
Hi. Nice to meet you, Melody.
Hi. Can I have beer too?
God, I wish I could.
Aw.
Look, I don't know if they told you, but I'm a raging alcoholic.
Oh.
But it's all in good fun. I edit for Sydney, so I'm really excited.
Hee 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 hee. I guess you'll be. Oh, never mind.
Yeah. Spoiler.
Secrets.
Oh, hello,
Oh.
chat. Briggs, how are you doing? Is he peeing too?
Is there a script? Or
Oh yeah, it's a whole book.
where can I access it so I can be Sophia?
I think they should link it. Hello.
Link it.
Hey, Mousy.
Hi. Hey, Grandpa, how's it going?
Hey,
You
baby.
lost your
Oh.
You lost your avatar. We just see like the regular blue person.
Oh,
Hey,
fuck
Recon.
Yo, fam!
Yo, Recon. What is up?
Not much.
That's pretty epic.
Just
Very hype intro
surviving
you got
in
there.
the hottest day in the United Kingdom right now.
This is so sad.
Ooh.
I'm back, boys.
Where's the link? I missed you.
Oh, I missed you too. And when I
How
say
was the
boys, when I
bathroom?
say boys, I use it as a gender neutral term.
Boys
okay.
is a term of endearment, okay?
Exactly.
Spelled with an I, of course.
Oh, of course.
I mean,
Multiple eyes.
It used to
Oh,
be
more eyes, the better.
unisex, and then it was it went full circle.
Yeah,
Where's the link?
on my co-ed volleyball team, there's this girl that always gets mad at me. It's just engraved in the way I speak. Like,
You're
what
on a
up?
co-ed volleyball team?
Yeah.
Cool.
Holy shit.
So sad I wasn't able to play this summer because of COVID and everything. But usually I do like 2 or 3 sessions every
Wait,
summer.
because of what?
Because of Heineken flu. My apologies.
I never heard of that. That's a thing?
Yeah.
What?
God damn.
But yeah, it's just engraved in the way I speak. Like, what up, boys? Let's go, boys, type of thing.
You can change it to bitches.
Yeah, what up, bitches?
All right, I'm looking for a link right now. Melody?
I'll link you. Wait, what? Oh, thank you.
Oh, no.
Mouse.
Yeah?
I simp for you.
You sent for me?
I simp.
Oh, you sent for me. I was like,
Yeah.
sent
What,
for me
you too,
anytime,
man?
baby.
We all simp for each other. Now that's a nice bromance right there.
Aw.
Sent for
Brig
you
style.
Yeah.
too. I sent for you too, Grandpa.
Oh, thank you. That's right. I don't know why I said creepy uncle when I am grandpa.
Yeah, you're Grandpa.
I'm grandpa. Duh.
And I'm Satan.
Aw. I accept you unto my heart,
Oh
Satan.
my god, I want to live in there. Let me live inside of you.
God damn, I love you. Oh,
I
my
love you
God.
And this is, ladies and gentlemen, what we call Pinky Tavern.
So I get to be a cat girl. So huzzah!
I put a link in our Discord.
Okay, Discord. Blue icon here found. Good.
And we are up to chapter 6, Message from Nuxanor.
Oh.
Chapter 6. No. Yes, found. Here we are.
It works.
Now we just need to wait for Animac to come back.
I am back.
How was the
Welcome back.
bathroom?
Oh, it was beautiful.
Oh, wonderful.
I love
Amazing.
beautiful bathrooms.
Hey, it's Mousy.
Hi.
We got Mousy and Mel and Recon, 3 top tier waifus.
You're just gonna diss Dakota like that?
Sorry, Dakota. Oh, actually,
We
man,
love you,
his
Dakota.
his like girl filter, bruh. Like you know how there's that app where you can make yourself the opposite.
Yes, we know.
Like,
We know.
Face
bro,
swap.
Dakota's was so hot. I'm not even.
I
I
gotta
wanna
see
see-
this.
No, you check it out. Check his Twitter out. Oh, I
All
forgot to. Yeah, go
Is
ahead.
everyone ready?
Chapter 6.
Chapter
Is Recon
6.
here? Is Recon here, by
Recon's
the way?
here.
Okay, let me just say.
The
guys,
anime dude just invited me to play Apex.
Bro, same.
let me just say, everyone, I forgot to say that we have brand new official art of Brigo and Chad Lass.
Oh, it looks so good.
It looks so good. It was done by Johnny Azad. I don't know if there's a way to put it on a web novel for you guys to see, but you can check it out on Twitter. I pinned it on my Twitter at Anime Uproar. If you want to see it, it is amazing.
I told you, Mel, he's really good at self-promoting.
Like, I'm blown away. How I
Take
introduce
notes.
myself. Hi.
Patreon.com/rantcafe.
Wow.
Anime Hub.
Man, I'm so excited for when Melody and Recon's characters actually get introduced, man.
Yes, just for everyone watching, they are voice acting, but they're not voice acting their characters.
Right. All right.
What?
Can't wait.
Are we ready to begin?
I don't see a little. How do I know when? Go ahead.
All right. Yeah, everyone's good. Everyone's
Yeah.
ready.
Mel will tell you. We'll tell you.
Thank
Are
you.
you gonna tell us
Holy
which character you
shit.
are?
Oh, we didn't tell Recon who he's voicing.
I don't know who I am, so I'm just
You
gonna
are
come in.
the Springle elf.
You're the Springle elf. His name is Gringle.
Oh, so you're giving me
Dingle.
the shitty
Dingle.
role.
Yes.
Bro,
No,
he's
but
actually
dude,
one of-
what are you
one-
saying? He's
one of the
probably
fan
the
favorites.
best character introduced so far, okay?
I mean, he's no Tom.
I'm
Except
gonna-
for maybe
okay.
Brigo.
I'm gonna have to figure out a fucking elf voice. I don't even know if I have got an elf voice.
You,
Oh,
you
you
can
do.
just do
Mickey
your
Mouse
natural
voice,
voice.
I don't know if I can do the elf voice.
You can
Just
do
look
it.
for it deep inside of yourself. It's there.
Fucking
There we go.
Dakota, how are you
just
so
gonna do it. You know what?
hot?
I'm
Oh
just
my
gonna do the
god.
Is
You're-
Dakota here? I haven't heard him speak.
Dakota!
The face app for Dakota.
Yeah, am I right?
Holy shit.
Dakota!
Well done.
We lost Dakota.
That doesn't
I
sound
killed
like
him.
Dakota to me.
Holy shit, that's a beautiful woman.
Right?
Oh.
Where are you guys seeing this? Did you guys post it on Discord?
It's on Dakota's
Yes. It's
It's
Twitter,
over in
right?
It's
Discord.
in
Oh, it's on
Discord.
Discord, okay.
Dakota, maybe leave the call and rejoin.
Yeah, damn, bro. I asked him if he has a sister, but he didn't answer.
Is that real?
I'm pretty sure he does. I think you've mentioned that.
Dum dum dum. Dakota,
Block. Effing block.
we hear you very faintly.
Oh. Oh, the camera's muted.
Hey, that sounded good. There we go.
Oh, never
Boom.
mind.
Hi.
Okay, I'll just stand right here without moving a single muscle.
What?
He's a professional.
Mm-hmm.
Top tier. Everything good?
So is
Sound
everyone
good?
ready? You sound
Yes.
great.
Yeah.
Okay, chapter 6, a message from Nuxinor. Brigo and his kink turned around calmly and walked back towards the tavern. Oh, by the way, for those of you, we need a little shonen anime recap. In the previous chapter, Brigo and his kink Chadlass fought off Evanito and Kor in a massive battle where Brigo got all injured and stuff on his back because it was bitten up by piranhas. That's what happened. Anyway, back to the current episode.
Last time on Dragon Ball.
Message from Nuxinor. Brigo and his kink turned around calmly and walked back toward the tavern. As the crowd outside realized that it was over, they broke out in cheers and applause. Did you see that? Someone said. He just beat 2 kink users. I can't believe it, someone replied. And suddenly it seemed as if everyone was talking at once. There were too many conversations to keep track of, but the gist of it was clear. Brigo's victory in a duel against 2 kink users was an incredible feat, and this was certainly not something that happens every day. As Brigo and Chadlass came closer to the crowd, the cheering and clapping became louder. Now, walking side by side, Brigo and his kink waved to everyone. Moments later, Chadlass stopped, and dropped down to one knee. She placed her left arm on her hip and raised her right fist into the air. Brigo stood behind her and raised his sword high above his head, holding it up with both arms. He's flexing his bulging muscles as both he and Chadlas let out the same roaring laugh.
Cha ha 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 ha!
The crowd cheered louder. Woo! Sir Brigo, you're amazing! Oh no, sorry, that's not my line. I'm
You
sorry.
took my line!
I thought that was the crowd. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Woo! Sir Briggle, you're amazing!
Truck-chan screamed, and even I felt compelled to clap. Brigo and his kink were certainly impressive, even by the standards of this magical world. Chadlas stood up, and both he and Brigo smacked each other on the behind at the same time. Then, Chadlas jumped into the air, and her human form dissolved into a glowing orange aura. The aura then fell back on top of Brigo and dissolved into his body. Nope, nothing to see here, Melody. Brigo continued walking until he came right up to us. As people from the crowd continued to praise and applaud him, he just smiled and waved it off.
You're a madman, Brigo.
Dakota said.
You've always been proud, but taking on 2 kink users alone is crazy, even for you.
Oh, it's not so crazy.
Brigo replied.
I took them on because I know them well, and I know exactly how their kinks work. If they were kink users with powers that were unknown to me, then it would have been a completely different story.
Dakota escorted Brigo and the rest of us through the crowd and back inside the tavern. Once we entered, Dakota led us to the largest table, and as we sat down, he ordered us a bunch of drinks and food for all of us.
You're still bleeding, Sir Brigo.
Sophia the Catwoman said. This must have been the first time I actually heard her speak, and the sound of her voice surprised me. Despite the Amazonian outfit, her voice was soft and pleasant, and her tone was much more reserved than Blair's.
Oh, it's just a scratch or two.
Brigo remarked. No, look, I said. The back of your tank top is soaked with blood. Brigo smiled.
It's nothing that a nice cold beer can't cure.
But Sophia shook her head.
I was the healer for our military unit.
She said softly.
Please, let me treat your wounds. We don't want them to get infected.
Sounds so sexual. Yeah.
Oh.
Can I help it that I have sex appeal? God damn it.
That was great. It was great.
Fantastic. Oh, I wouldn't want to trouble a lady with such trifles.
Brigo said, but Sophia insisted, and we all agreed that the wounds should be treated. After a few minutes of prodding, Brigo relented, and Sophia asked one of the waiters to bring her an entire laundry list of herbs and potions. Then she helped Brigo take off his bloody tank top. Now shirtless, Brigo took a long swig of his green beer, while Sophia began to sprinkle some sort of powder all over his back. Brigo, I said, I can't believe you had that kind of amazing power this whole time. It's amazing.
Yes, Chadlas is a magnificent kink, and I was fortunate enough to unlock her incredible power. But don't worry, Burrito, your kink will manifest sooner or later.
Wait, really? I can get a power like that? The very idea of possessing a power of that magnitude seemed impossible to me. How would you unlock it? How would you even use it? It all seemed so unreal.
Yes, of course, everyone who is isekai'd into this world has the potential to unlock a kink. You just have to embrace your innermost desires, and one day, when the time is right, your kink will manifest.
Wow, I see, I said. I was still having trouble believing it. As they were talking, the crowd had begun to trickle back inside, and they were all trying to get closer to Brigo. Dakota told his waiters and barmaids to keep them back, and so it was just Brigo, Dakota, the 2 Catwomen, Truck-chan, and I at the big table. By the way, it should be at me, Animac, but whatever, continue. One of the waiters began collecting the different parts of Brigo's armor and piling them up in the corner, while another brought some herbs and strange plants and placed them down at the table. Sophia grabbed them and began to crush them into paste using a wooden herb grinder. She said something to Blair, and Blair got to work as well, helping to prepare whatever magical concoction Sophia was creating. A strong herbal scent filled the air. Truck-chan said, and she looked over like she was thinking about something.
You said that kinks come from your deepest desires, right?
Dakota nodded. Dakota.
Answer me right now.
Dakota! Did we lose him again? I think we lost him again.
Might be muted again.
Dad!
All right, I'll just do it. Yes, that's right.
What the hell? Why does he sound like Blair?
The sudden change of voices.
Wow. Yes, that's right. Okay. Okay, but how come that one guy, Evanito? Oh no, this is you again, Mousy. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Just step all
sorry.
over me. It's fine.
Working everything.
Okay, but how come that one guy, Evanito, hated his own kink? He told her she was gross.
Oh,
Dakota.
Hey, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
no.
Let's see. You told me I lost my spot trying to get my headphone back in.
You're at that's a good question.
That's a good question.
Dakota said.
Oh, that Evan.
Brigo chuckled and took another swig of beer. If the wounds on his back were bothering him, it didn't show it in the least.
I don't know for sure.
Dakota went on.
But if I were to guess, either Evanito is a masochist or he hasn't even come up with the terms with his own repressed fish-based fetish.
Oh, I see.
Truck-chan said.
He's a very strange human.
Yes, he is.
And Brigo replied.
But the only reason why I won that fight is because I've known both Evanito and Core for years. I know the true nature of their kinks, and I know their individual weaknesses as well.
So, does every kink have a weakness? I asked. I was suddenly very curious about these strange powers as I was excited at the prospect of being able to unlock my own. For the first time since I was transported into this world, I was beginning to see an upside to being here. Brigo nodded.
Each kink has a special condition that can make it stronger, but not meeting that condition can also make it weaker. For example, Chadlass is stronger when she is pumped up, but she would be less strong if we were hit by a surprise attack and she didn't have time to warm up.
As Brigo was talking, Sophia began to spread the thick paste that she and Blair made across his entire back. This looked like it would hurt, but Brigo didn't even flinch.
In terms of Core and Evanito,
Brigo continued,
their kink conditions are well known to me. Core's kink is stronger the calmer he remains in the face of pressure and adversity. He is a calm person by nature, so that works out perfectly for his kink. Evanito's kink becomes stronger the more anxious he gets, and since his own kink makes him anxious, it also works out perfectly.
I nodded. This was all so interesting.
I knew that I didn't stand a chance against Evanito's kink in a one-on-one battle, so my goal was to reach him instead. His anxiety makes his kink stronger, but it also makes him less vigilant. He was barely watching the fight, and that allowed me to sneak up on him. As far as Core goes, I was able to use Chadlass to intimidate him. When he saw her raw power and imposing presence, he hesitated. He became less calm, and that's when he knew that he couldn't win, and he was forced to retreat.
But why did you let those angry fish bite your back?
Truck-chan asked.
Why didn't you run away?
Brigo chuckled.
Cha-ha-ha. Run away? I don't know the meaning of those words. But the answer to your first question is simple, my dear Truck-chan. I needed time to absorb Chadlass's electric power into my sword. That was the only way for me to neutralize Mermaid, if only for a few seconds. In order to do that, I had to turn towards Chadlass and expose my back to the piranhas.
Dakota shook his head.
Oh no.
Dakota! We
Wait.
lost him again.
He's
Oh
he's
no.
muted right now.
Yes.
He's probably trying to fix his mic.
All right, I guess I'll do it.
All right, Animac, you'll be the impromptu Dakota.
Oh, you gave us quite a scare, my
Wait,
friend.
he's back. He's back.
All right.
Does this sound bad? Can I use my laptop?
No, that's great. It's perfect.
Okay, perfect. Because fuck this USB microphone. Let's see here.
You gave us quite a scare.
Dakota shook his head.
I know I did. My microphone.
Nice.
You gave us quite a scare, my friend. That didn't look good from where we were standing. And if I ever seen you show your back to an opponent, I was afraid something was wrong, since I would have expected the piranhas to take you head on. You to take piranhas head on.
Cha-ha-ha.
Brigo laughed.
Honor is one thing, my friend, but exposing my snake to those hungry fish is quite another. Don't get me wrong, it was certainly a risk. The only way to stop Mermaid was to expose her to a strong electricity, and even that was only enough to paralyze her for just a few seconds. Thankfully, I was able to reach Evanito before she recovered, and once he lost consciousness, his kink itself was useless.
Wow, now I understand, I said and smiled. During the battle, we all thought you were recklessly rushing at two opponents at once, but in reality, you had a carefully planned out strategy.
But of course.
Brigo replied.
You can't survive in a world like this for as long as I have by being a fool. But I must be fair. Korra and Evanito know my kink as well as I know theirs. They could have attacked me by surprise and taken away my advantage, but they chose to face me head on in the field of battle. After the great incident, they chose a different path from mine, but they are still men of honor.
Sophia finished covering Brigo's back with the medical paste. She then pulled out a small green orb from one of her pockets and began to chant in an unknown language. The orb glowed with green light, and Sophia ran the light up and down Brigo's back while chanting the same strange words over and over and over again. Then, suddenly she stopped.
All done. You
She
will
said-
feel a lot. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, no,
you,
go
will
ahead.
feel... you will feel a lot better by the morning, Sir Brigo.
Brigo looked at Sophia and smiled.
Ah, thank you, my dear. I am in your debt. And please just call me Brigo.
Sophia nodded and smiled back. She and Blair both returned to their seats.
Excellent.
Dakota said,
You have my thanks, ladies. Any friend of Brigo's is a friend of mine. Please, stay here tonight. On the house. I'll have the staff prepare everything you need. I will feed you, bathe you, and wash your clothes. Full royal treatment.
The Catwoman accepted gratefully, but Brigo protested.
Now, Dakota, it's true that we're friends, but I've got plenty of coin. No need to take us in for free.
Your coin is no good here, Brigo.
Dakota said and stood up from the table.
I've got business at the bar, but please, make yourselves at home. And don't try anything funny, Brigo. I've already instructed the staff to refuse any coin, all 5 of you.
As he said this, Dakota smiled and then turned and walked away.
So, Birito,
Blair said softly.
want to share a room with me tonight? I'm playful, but I don't bite. Unless you want me to.
She opened her mouth and ran her tongue across her sharp feline teeth. Truck Chan's face darkened instantly, and she looked like she was about to scream. Thankfully, we were interrupted before a full-blown catfight erupted. We just heard, at first, a loud ripping sound that seemed to be getting closer. It was like someone was violently squeezing the air out of a leaking balloon. What's that? I asked and looked around the tavern for the source of the sound, but I couldn't find anything.
Oh no!
Brigo muttered, and his face turned grave. Huh? What's the matter? The sudden change in Brigo's expression made me nervous. He didn't even flinch when the wounds on his back were being treated, and yet this odd ripping sound seemed to worry him. Everyone in the tavern turned their heads, and that's when we saw it. Some sort of large object flew in through one of the windows and crash landed on the tavern floor. The sight before me was so strange that I didn't even comprehend it at first. It was only after I regained my composure that I realized what I was looking at. The object that flew in through the window was not an object at all. It was a very short man riding atop a farting penguin.
God damn it.
Brigo said.
It's a frickin' Springle elf.
A what? The man was wearing green clothes, including a pointy green hat, and he seemed to be struggling to stand up.
Oh, God. What a cute little guy.
Chuck Chan said.
Is he okay? He seems shaky.
He's fine.
Brigo said through clenched teeth.
Just don't look at him, and whatever you do, do not speak to him.
I'm just getting ready.
Oh,
This Springle elf said he was stumbling around the tavern and making incoherent noises. The penguin that he had been riding was much calmer. It simply rolled over, farted twice, and then sat down calmly at the foot of the bar.
Hello, hello!
The elf continued as Brigo went out of his way not to look at him.
I've got a letter here, you hear? A letter for Brigo! Ha-ha!
Who? Someone asked.
Don't you listen? I got a letter for Lauren B. Brigo!
Did you say... Oh, frick.
Oh, sorry. Did you say Lord D. Brigo?
Truck Chan called out, and instinctively, the elf's misty eyes turned to her.
Oh, God!
No, it's Briggs.
Oh, God, no.
Briggs said, and buried his head in his hands.
Yep, that's right. A letter for Loro Brigo from the Lure of Nuxtoria, His Majesty Lord Suxanor.
Dakota.
Come on, keep going.
Dakota. All right, Animag.
Lord Nuxanor.
Dakota corrected him from behind the bar. The elf nodded.
Yeah. Nutsanor. Here's a letter right here.
The elf approached our table, still stumbling and slurring his words. He was a very short man, less than half my height, with a scruffy, unkempt beard and a large, pointy belly. That was a pointy belly. Anyway, he carried a small pouch around his waist, and as he came closer, he pulled a crumpled up envelope from inside.
What do you mean by pointy belly?
Bro, don't question the
Don't
physics
question
of
the
the Springle
genius.
elves.
Here, young lady.
He said and handed the letter to Truck-chan.
Hey, wait!
Truck-chan said,
You're a silly little guy. I'm not Laura D. Brigo. That's him right there.
She pointed to Brigo, but Brigo didn't turn. He sat there shaking his head and staring at his own hands. What's wrong? I asked him.
I hate these Springle elf bastards.
Oh, schnickeldings. Here.
The elf chuckled. He looked like he was having a great time. Truck-chan took the letter from the elf and handed it over to Brigo, who accepted it reluctantly. The elf was already wobbling away from our table. He tried to walk up to a barmaid, but she slapped him and walked away after he asked to see her milk jugs.
I'm sorry, everyone,
Brigo said.
but there's nothing in this world that I hate more than those damn Springle elves.
I was confused. Who are they? Brigo sighed.
They run the Discord delivery service. It's the only communication service that operates beyond national borders. So after the breakup of Twigoslavia, we had to start relying on them for most of our communications.
That's odd, I said. The guy looks drunk, and I think he came in here riding a farting penguin.
Yeah, these Springle elf bastards are constantly drunk and obnoxious. I just hate them so much. But they're the only creatures who are able to fly the penguins, and they have a strong union, so we're pretty much stuck with them.
Did you say fly the penguins? What do you mean? Penguins can't fly.
Well, of course penguins can't fly, but penguins with a Z can fly.
What?
Penguins are special creatures found only in this world. They look like the penguins from our world, but they can fly by using their powerful farts to keep themselves airborne. Springle elves are able to ride them, and that makes their deliveries much faster than the alternative method. At least that would be the case if they weren't drunk, out of their mind, or high on devil grass. Elf bastards. Fucking hate those guys.
Elf, this is you.
Elf.
Hey, muscle man. Here. Can you hurry up and read the letter? I gotta make sure you read it. It's part of the job, man. I gotta get going, man. I gotta be quicker than a woofersnot after a rain doodle. If you know what I mean. Oh.
Brigo shook his head.
No one ever knows what you mean. That doesn't mean anything, you drugged out slime ball.
Brigo was clearly upset, and we tried to calm him down, but the elf was completely unaffected by Brigo's words. He just kept swaying from side to side with the same vapid grin on his face.
God, I hate them so much.
Brigo continued.
Let's just get this over with.
He opened the envelope, unwrapped the letter, and began to read out loud.
Dear Brigo, it's been too long, my friend. My agent... Do I have to read this? I feel like it's...
Yeah, go for it. I say go for it. I say go for it.
Okay. Dear Brigo, it's been too long, my friend. My agents in the lawless lands told me that you're on your way back to where it all started. So I hope that we will... Oh my god. So
Wait, actually, Briggs, hold on.
Yeah.
Let's Nux read this as his character Nux, who hasn't yet appeared.
Ooh,
Okay.
we should do that thing.
Not
makes
a
sense,
spirit,
good.
though.
Nux wrote it. Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
all right.
exactly.
Dear Brigo, it's been too long, my friend. My agents in the lawless lands told me that you're on your way back to where it all started. So I hope we will get to meet again soon. The last time we drained our snakes was years ago, and I must admit, I miss our snake drainings most of all. I write this letter to you, formally inviting you to visit me. As you know, you're always welcome here in Noxturia. I'm also writing to warn you, by the way, I am sending Evanito and Core to meet you. I am no fool. I know that they'll never beat you in battle, but on the off chance that you agree to come to Noxturia, they will be happy to escort you. To be perfectly honest, I've grown very tired of Evanito's relentless simping, and I needed to get him out of my hair for a while. I know he loves and respects me, but that other day, he gave me a drawing that he made of the two of us draining our snakes together on top of a mountain. It was not a good drawing. I appreciate the gesture, and he's almost like a son to me, but sometimes I worry for his well-being. I sent Core along with him because if I left him to his own devices, Evanito would probably freak out and get himself killed within the first 12 hours. I'm sending this letter by Springle Elf before Evanito and Core depart Noxturia. So I am certain that this letter will find you many days before you actually encounter them. I just wanted to ask you, please go easy on them, and to invite you to be my guest of honor whenever you wish. I would have included more memes in this letter, but my royal scribe, Sir Rustage, refuses to insert them. He believes them to be ungentlemanly. Your friend, Lord William Nuxanor, King of Noxturia. P.S. I long for the day when those 3 powerful words will once again echo throughout the land, spreading joy and beauty to all who hear them. Until then, my friend, I shall grace this page with those very words. Nux and Briggs.
Nux and Briggs!
The elf cried out. His drunken scream was loud enough for the entire tavern to hear. Then he just laughed again. Moments later, he stumbled over the bar to where he could order a dozen drinks for himself and a few more for his penguin. Grigo folded the letter and put it away.
Well, finish your food and drinks, everyone. Soon it will be time for bed. We've got a big day ahead of us tomorrow, and we'll need the rest. Besides, if we were to stay here much longer, I may end up murdering that tweaked out elf with my bare hands.
Lulu Kimba!
The elf was singing from across the room.
Lulu Kimba! Twinkle balls! All the ladies love my balls! Here, here, here!
The elf sang. His penguin seemed to bounce up and down with every noisy fart he produced. And pretty soon, the entire tavern was in a flurry of excited chatter and boisterous singing. I took a few more sips of the green beer, ate some more meat before we all stood up from the table and headed upstairs. And that is the end of chapter 6.
Amazing, guys.
Great chapter, Animac.
Wow.
Well
done.
Sophia ended up being a lot more interesting than I thought.
Going
In the good
forward,
way.
you got a writer like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
Yeah,
No,
good-
it's great.
No,
Oh,
I think you
good
added
job,
to the character.
Melody. Loved it. Loved Recon too, man. It's like, who knew that everyone was such a great voice actor? Like everyone we get up here ends up like overperforming our expectations in a big way. Amazing.
Yeah, like Dakota's, he acts drunk sometimes.
I am drunk most of the time.
Okay, so that was chapter 6. We have chapter 7 next, called The Cat Girl Dilemma. I do not think that Sophia and Dakota have any speaking roles in this one. So if you guys gotta go, you can obviously stay, but if you gotta go, it's okay. However, Recon has to stay.
Sorry.
No worries, I will stay.
Go ahead.
However, Recon, you got no choice.
What were you saying, Melody?
Why not?
Oh, I have some stuff I need to do. However, I will have you playing in the background, and I will be listening and judging.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming. It was so. Don't take that out of context. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for coming,
Oh my.
Please come again, Melody.
Grandpa.
Animac, you're making it worse.
Melody, you're invited to come again anytime.
You can
gotta
come
see it.
anytime.
Time out.
Oh my god. Okay. Thank you all for having me on both of your shows. It was quite an honor. Hope I didn't embarrass everyone too much.
No, it was great.
That's my
We
best
kept
employee.
the bugs out of the conversation.
bug porn. I said.
Sex bugs.
Bug porn? What? I miss
Better
bug
not be any bug porn in this book.
Tune
I swear to God.
in for the next chapter, guys.
Oh, no.
porn.
And no, that's not a joke. I've already had it planned out.
Oh,
But,
Oh
no.
god.
Well, on
I hope
that
you all
note,
have
I will
fun.
adios, c'est la vie.
All right.
Later, broski.
Bye.
See ya.
Next time my audio should be fine.
Bye.
Yep. See you, man. And Celavi means that's life. But
Yeah, I know. I was wondering the same thing.
It sounded right, and it feels right. So
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't gonna correct him just so people don't like. It's like, why call him out on that stuff? You know.
because
That
I'm a
sounds nice.
French weeb, just like I'm a Japanese weeb. Okay.
We're proud of you.
There. All right. Bye, guys.
See ya.
All right. So, fun fact: I didn't read Chapter 7 yet. I discussed what was going to be in Chapter 7, but this is my first time actually reading it.
Yeah, exactly. So we Nux gave some important input for this chapter, but he's going in virgin on this chapter, and I'm actually
Yeah,
quite
baby.
excited. I'm excited. So let's do it.
All right.
Quick
The
question,
cat
am I
girl.
the elf in this one?
Oh yeah, you are.
Yeah,
You
the
are
elf is
here.
still in this one, yes.
Okay.
The cat girl dilemma. We spent the night in 2 separate rooms. Brigo, Truck-chan, and I slept in one, while the cat Whammon slept in another. Truck-chan had the option of bunking with the girls instead, but she refused, and then she called Blair a prostitute since there were only 2 beds in each room, and Brigo needed an entire bed for himself. I was once again stuck sleeping right next to Truck-chan. Thankfully, she wasn't naked this time because Dakota let us borrow a nightgown from one of the barmaids. I was hoping for a quiet, peaceful morning after all the commotion of the previous nights, but those hopes were quickly dashed when I suddenly woke up by Brigo screaming.
Oh no!
He shouted.
Birito, wake up!
What? I asked, rubbing my eyes. What's wrong?
I overslept. It's almost daybreak.
At first, I didn't register the significance of that statement, but as my mind emerged from the fog of sleep, I realized what he meant. Before we went to bed, Brigo said that he would wake up before daybreak and take Truck-chan back to the stables so she wouldn't transform into a truck on the 2nd floor of the inn. If that happened, her secret would be revealed to everyone at the inn, and worse yet, the entire floor would probably collapse under the weight of her truck form. I jumped out of the bed, turned around. Truck-chan was still sleeping peacefully beside me, but Brigo wasted no time. He ran across the room, grabbed the still sleeping Truck-chan, threw her over his shoulder, and then sprinted for the door. I didn't know what else to do. So I grabbed my glasses and ran right after him. Both of us were in our underwear. My only outfit was drying downstairs after Dakota was kind enough to have it washed, and Brigo had slept without his armor in order to allow his wounds on his back to heal. As Brigo ran towards the stairs, with Truck-chan over his shoulder, she finally woke up. Hey, where? Oh, flip! Sorry, Mousy. I apologize.
Step on me! It's okay.
I'm sorry.
Where are we going?
She asked.
Don't worry, Truck-chan.
Brigo said.
We will be at the stables in just a moment.
But then, before Brigo could reach the stairs, one of his heavy steps was too much for the old floorboards to handle, and his foot fell through the floor. This caused him to trip and lose his grip on Truck-chan. And because he had been running at the time, the momentum launched Truck-chan through the air and right out of an open window that stood at the end of the hallway. Truck-chan screamed, and so did Brigo. Since I was running right behind him, I couldn't stop myself and nearly tripped over Brigo.
Hold on.
But at that
Can they scream?
Scream, guys.
Ah!
Okay.
Perfect. There we go.
Scream.
It's a great scream. How could you, Recon? But at this last second, I managed to swerve around them and come to a stop right in front of the window. As I was about to look out to see if Truck-chan was okay, a panicked Brigo ran right at me.
Truck-chan, are you okay?
He cried and looked like he was about to trample me on his way to the window. No, Brigo, stop! I screamed and held out my hands towards him, but it was too late. Brigo's huge body slammed into me, and in the very next moment, we were both flying through the window. I was about to die in the stupidest way possible. I closed my eyes, prepared for the end, but our fall was much shorter than I had expected. I felt my back land on a hard, flat surface, and then I felt Brigo's massive flame landing right on top of me. I cried, gasping for air. Ouch, Brigo, get off of me!
Whoa, what happened?
Brigo asked. We both looked around, and to our great surprise, we saw that we were lying on top of Truck-chan's roof. She must have transformed right after flying out of the window, and as a result, our fall was much shorter. Instead of falling all the way to the ground, we dropped onto the roof of the truck.
Truck-chan, are you okay?
Brigo asked. The morning sun was just poking from above the hilltops.
I guess so.
Truck-chan replied.
One moment I was human, and then I suddenly became a truck again. Very strange.
Very lucky, I said. If the transformation hadn't occurred at that exact moment, all 3 of us could have been severely injured or worse. But even though we were lucky, I was still in a very uncomfortable position. Brigo was on top of me, and my chest and ribs felt like they were going to cave in. Get off, Brigo, I said! You're crushing me!
Oh, Birito, I'm sorry. I was just so worried about Truck-chan.
At that very moment, the doors of the inn swung open, and 2 people walked out. One of them was the Springle elf from last night, and the other looked like an ordinary human.
Whoa, what's that?
What's that? Okay, anime. Fine. The human asked. The elf looked up and saw us.
Oh, it's 2 naked guys. Heel. What are they doing?
No. What are they doing is the human.
That's the other guy.
Oh.
Wait, are you doing it, anime?
Yeah. What are they doing?
Nice.
Now
I
it's
think
elf.
that's the elf.
Elf.
Oh, no. Looks like they're hugging on top of the carriage.
Hugging?
What?
Brigo exclaimed.
No, we're not hugging. No one's hugging. He jumped down from the roof and landed. Oh, my bad.
He jumped down from the roof and landed on the ground with a loud stomp.
Well, Schninkledinks,
The elf said and laughed.
if you weren't up there hugging, then what in the world were you doing?
Oh, well, there was a problem.
Brigo said.
Yeah, that's right. A problem with our carriage.
What kind of problem? The human asked.
It was a fire. Yeah, a fire. We had to run out here to put it out, so we didn't have time to dress.
The elf rubbed his chin.
A fire? On the roof?
Brigo nodded.
Yes, on the roof.
So, where's the smoke, my good man? The human asked.
We put it out, so all the smoke's gone. That's all there is to it. Right, Burrito?
Yes, I said and nodded. I was still up on the roof in my underwear, and I didn't know how I was going to get down. I would probably break both legs if I tried to jump off like Brigo. The elf continued to rub his chin, and then just shrugged.
Alrighty then. Heel. Makes no difference to me. I'm glad you lads put your fires out.
The elf then pulled a small wooden pipe out from his pocket, lit it with a match, and began to smoke. The human lit his own smoke, and then the two of them started chatting amongst themselves. Brigo helped me down from the truck, and he whispered to Truck-chan to stay quiet while we went back up to the room and got dressed. While we went up to the room and got dressed. Once I was on the ground, I noticed the torn pieces of Truck-chan's nightgown were scattered all over the place. The gown must have ripped off as she transformed. I wasn't sure if the elf or the other guy noticed the nightgown fragments, but if they did, I'm sure it would only add to the bizarre nature of the entire situation. We rushed back into our rooms, and Brigo put on his armor. Now fully dressed, Brigo went out and retrieved my clothes, which were finally free from the smell of urine. The elf...
Brigo.
The elf
Brigo,
didn't
sorry.
seem drunk this morning.
Brigo said as I got dressed.
I'm guessing he slept it off, but he still seems sketchy as hell.
You
That
got
was
that?
Birito actually, but then that was Birito, and then there is Brigo again. Now the reason why, because this isn't a film script, I can't put in every time who is
Of course.
speaking, so that's
You're
the
right.
difficulty. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I'm-
We're just having a conversation, so it's back and
I'm
forth.
guessing he slept it off, but he still seems sketchy as hell.
You got that right. But here's the thing, Burrito. I think we should send letters to both Animac and Nuxanor. We should tell them about our journey and the looming danger posed by the Demon Lord Havoc. I've done my best to avoid associating with those damn Springle elves up until this point, but Nuxanor's letter and the appearance of Cor and Evanito here at the inn were all a wake-up call. We must dispel any confusion that Animac and Nuxanor might have about why we're here. Otherwise, their pointless rivalry might derail our plans. We can't afford any more distractions along the way.
I nodded.
So, Burrito, can you please do me a favor?
Sure, what do you need?
Can you talk to that elf bastard for me and give him the letters in my place? I am a man of honor, and I swore that I would never have any personal interaction with those damn Springle elves ever again.
Sure, I said. I could see how dealing with the messenger elves could become annoying over time, but I hadn't been out here long enough to find them anything other than hilarious. Brigo breathed a sigh of relief.
Thank you, Burrito. Thank you, my friend. You don't know how much this means to me.
He used the desk in our room to write 2 short letters. When he finished writing, he placed them in envelopes and wrote an address on each of them. Then he handed the letters over to me, along with 2 silver coins.
Sorry, my
There you
link
go.
closed. Fuck. Along with 2 silver coins. Where did that go? I'm sorry.
It's all good.
I just reopened the file, so now I'm trying to find back where we
Control
were.
F, silver coins.
Good idea.
Big brain.
Okay.
Dumb high IQ.
Thank you, and then... Okay. This is more than double his normal payment.
Brigo said.
So I hope to God that he will actually deliver the letters in time.
Right, I'll go talk to them. I started to leave, but Brigo stopped me.
Wait, before you go, there is something else that we should talk about.
Sure, what do you have in mind?
Blair and Sophia.
The cat women?
I believe that we should take them to Animakistan. They're looking for an audience with Animak, and I am one of the very few people that could actually make that happen. After they helped me last night, it's the least I can do. My wounds feel much better already, but without Sophia's treatment, it would have taken weeks for me to recover.
So you want to take them with us on the truck?
We're all going to the same place anyway, so the arrangement would make perfect sense if not for Truckshawn. I don't know if we could convince her to let them tag along.
You mean because of me and the Blair thing? Brigo nodded.
Precisely.
I don't know what all that's about, I said and shrugged. I've never gotten this much attention from women, and now I suddenly have two gorgeous girls fighting over me. I still don't think it's real, to be honest. I think they're just playing a joke on me.
Oh, Birito, you're still so ignorant about the ways of this world.
What do you mean? There's absolutely nothing special about me, Brigo. I'm not strong like you. I don't have any magical powers. I don't have any money. And I'm terrified of pretty much everything in this world. What could any woman possibly see in me? Brigo shook his head and smiled.
Cha-cha-cha. Haven't you heard of Chadformation?
Transformation?
No, Chadformation. There's a reason why so many women within this world love men who are ordinary, weak, and unaccomplished. All the legendary heroes of this world started off as feeble, pathetic cowards when they were first isekai'd here. When a beautiful woman meets someone like you, she knows that you are yet to undergo your Chadformation.
But why, I asked, why wouldn't they be interested in someone who's already a strong, successful hero?
Think about it, Birito. The men who have already accomplished everything have nowhere else to go. There is no progress left for them to make. They are boring. Women want men whose journeys is just beginning. Men who aren't yet to develop into their best selves. To put it simply, they want men with infinite potential. And you are just such a man.
I shook my head. I don't get it. You're saying that being weak and useless makes me more attractive to women?
Where did you say you were from, Birito?
In our world, Japan. I'm from Tokyo in Japan.
Well, then you must be familiar with anime.
Well, yes, of course. I used to watch them as a kid, but that stuff doesn't interest me anymore. I'm not some sweaty otaku or anything. Brigo looked at me and smiled.
Think of it this way, Birito. In this world, you are like an anime protagonist. And what woman wouldn't be attracted to an anime protagonist? All the adventures that you are sure to have, all the feats that you are sure to accomplish, all the meaningful character development that you are sure to undergo. No woman can resist that.
Me? A protagonist? I laughed at this. I'm just a Spamazon delivery man. All I wanted to do was contribute to society and live a quiet life.
We don't choose our fate. Our fate chooses us. And your fate is to be the protagonist of your own story. You have protagonist powers, Birito. You just need to learn how to use them.
Part of me thought that Brigo was crazy for believing that. I could become extraordinary, but another part of me said, screw it, if I'm already in this crazy magical world surrounded by fantastical creatures and incredible powers, then I might as well embrace the craziness, at least until I can find a way back home. Alright then, Brigo. Were you serious when you said I can unlock a kink?
Well, but of course. You just need to embrace your innermost desires. And when the time is right, your kink will manifest. Don't worry, Birito. I will train you in the art of the kinks.
I nodded, and a strange sense of excitement washed over me. Thanks, Brigo. I've never been a good student, but I guess there's a first time for everything. I'll do my best.
Excellent.
Brigo said.
Now let's get a move on. You go and give those letters to the elf, and I'll go talk to Truckshawn. My personal gratitude aside, having a trained warrior and a trained healer with us on the journey could be a lifesaver. Who knows what other obstacles we might encounter. So I hope that I can convince Truckshawn to bring Blair and Sophia with us.
When I tracked down the Springle Elf, he was already drinking at the bar. At first, he wasn't interested in talking to me, but when he saw the silver coins, he happily accepted the letters. His face was suddenly friendly. He shook my hand profusely, and he told me his name was Dingle, and then placed the letters in his pouch and exited the tavern along with his penguin. And exited the tavern along with his penguin. I watched as the elf mounted his penguin, and then the penguin began to walk and flap its wings. I noticed that this animal's wings were different from those of the penguins in our world. They appeared to be larger and sturdier. Perhaps this explained why those creatures were actually capable of flight. But it wasn't until it began releasing a steady stream of loud, ripping farts that the penguin began became airborne. These farts propelled the penguin and the elf into the air, and in the very next moment, they were flying around erratically, zigzagging all over the fields and above the trees. The elf turned to me and waved. I actually waved back, and I couldn't help but laugh out loud at the sheer madness of all of this. As the airborne elf disappeared over the hilltops, I made my way back to where Truck-chan was parked. Brigo and Truck-chan appeared to be arguing, and Brigo seemed frustrated. As I approached, Brigo turned to me.
Truck-chan says that she wouldn't mind letting Sophia come with us, but she refuses to take Blair. I tried to explain that both of them would be helpful to us during the journey, but Truck-chan just won't budge.
That's right.
Truck-chan said.
Sophia seems nice, but Blair is a smelly harlot, and I won't let her ruin our relationship, Birito-kun.
Instead of trying to make sense out of this senseless situation, and instead of dwelling on the fact that I was listening to a sentient delivery truck talk about relationships, I decided to try a different tactic. Truck-chan, you say that you care about me, right?
Well, of course I do, Birito-kun. We're in love, Baka.
Okay. So that means you trust me, right?
Yes, of course. I trust you.
Then you trust me when I say that Blair can't take your place in my heart and that you have nothing to worry about? This was technically true, since neither of these women had a place in my heart to begin with. Truck-chan was a truck, and I only just met Blair. Truck-chan was quiet for a moment.
I trust you, Birito-kun, but I don't trust her. She's a dirty, hairy seductress. You know how she looks at you.
I shrugged. So let her look. She means nothing to me. You and I have a unique relationship that no one in this world can duplicate. This was also technically true. Who else can say that their delivery truck became a sentient shape-shifting princess who happened to have a crush on them?
I don't know.
Truck-chan said. Think of it this way, I continued. If Blair and Sophia can help us safe on this strange and dangerous journey, then we're putting ourselves in danger by not taking them with us. Would you want to put us in danger because of some petty jealousy? Would you want to put me in danger? Truck-chan was quiet for a while. Then finally she said,
You're right, Birito-kun. Sir Brigo thinks that we'll be safer if we bring them with us, and I know he wouldn't lie about something like that. If you both think that they should come along, then I accept.
Great, I said.
But they have to ride on the roof like Sir Brigo.
Truck-chan added.
And if Blair tries to hit on you again, I'll run her over, okay?
Okay, sure, I guess. Brigo?
Yeah.
He nodded, he said and nodded.
That sounds fair to me. I'll go and let them know.
Brigo went back inside the inn, and before long, he returned with Blair and Sophia, each Catwoman carrying a single traveling suitcase, and Brigo helped them tie the luggage up on the roof with some rope he got from Dakota. In order to keep Blair and Sophia from learning Truck-chan's secret, made up an elaborate story that why everyone except me had to ride on the roof, and why Truck-chan's human form was nowhere to be found. The story involved some nonsense about the truck's cabin being too stuffy to support more than one person because of the gases and the engine produced. More ludicrous still, we told them that Truck-chan had a mysterious illness which made her sensitive to the sun, and so she had to stay locked inside the cargo area by herself throughout the entire day. The Catwomen didn't seem to mind any of this, and they were grateful to have a ride to Animakistan. We said our goodbyes to Dakota, packed some food and drinks for the road, and then we were off. I was sitting behind the wheel and pretending to drive as Brigo assumed his usual position right above the cabin. Blair and Sophia made themselves comfortable behind him, taking full advantage of the long and spacious roof. We followed the gravel road around a steep mountain range, still heading northeast by my estimation, and in just a couple of hours, we reached the border of Animakistan. Yay!
Yay!
Great story.
Awesome, guys. That was awesome.
Pretty epic.
I just have this feeling that people are gonna draw me as a fucking elf now with a penguin.
Well, now they almost certainly are.
It's just my worst nightmare now.
I have to say, the
Please,
Springle Elf is an amazing character.
no one draw me as an elf, please.
Yeah, I know. He ended up becoming
You know
one of
he
my
wants
favorites.
it. You know he's saying that because he wants it.
No, I don't.
He ended up becoming one of my favorites.
Emma,
and
even
I
though
didn't
I
think that
enjoyed
would
that
happen.
character a lot, so you can go ahead and draw me. I don't mind.
Yeah, but you did a great job, Rico. With
Yeah,
the-
you
really did.
killed it, man.
Yeah, and Mousy as usual.
Oh man, Mousy. God damn. You're a
What?
pro. I'm sorry for stealing your line.
It's okay. You can
It's
step
just-
on me anytime.
That's not what I was trying to say. But most of the conversation was like between Birito and Brigo. So I had to read Birito's part and the narration, and I was looking out for Brigo lines.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Truck-chan pops in. So I'm sorry.
I have a habit of popping in.
Yeah, no,
Wait,
you did a good job, man.
I like Truck-chan. She's like kind of a yandere, but like
She should be more yandere-ish, by the way. We should make her crazy. Dude, you want to hear the craziest twist ever? By the end of the arc or whatever, Birito gets his Chad formation, and then Truck-chan falls in love with Brigo.
I don't know about that.
That would be a twist.
Briggle's a bit old.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Someone needs to bang Sophia.
Truck-chan.
Yeah, so Docs, how was your raw?
I thought it was great. It was great.
Nice.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
glad.
No, I'm glad because we talked about the Chad formation bit before. So
Yeah, no, I mean, I like that we actually came up with a reason why the most useless cowardly men
get
are
all the women.
so sought after in
Right, that's what I was telling you. I was like, bro, you
Good
have to
anime.
do this.
yeah. Good job. That was a good
Yeah.
job. And also,
but you-
people voted on
you-
Twitter that they wanted to see the cat girls come, so they're coming with.
All right, sounds good. Maybe they'll die on the way or something.
Oh, that is so
Truck-chan straight up runs over Blair.
I mean, you never know, but definitely some crazy shit is happening in the next chapter.
All right, the hype is real.
They wanted to see the
Yeah.
cat girls come.
Yeah,
that's
the Chad-
probably what Melody's thinking while listening.
Oh, yeah.
to it.
Man, Melody did a good job with
Sophia.
Sophia as well.
Yeah, because I'm thinking Blair is the seductress, but fuck, Sophia came in.
It was a
Yeah.
whole different type of
She
seduction.
came in swinging, man. No,
Yeah.
but she was
Sophia's
going
like-
for Brigo though, so
Yeah,
that's all good.
Sophia was all like, "Oh, I'm just like this nice, helpful person."
cream on your back.
Yeah, but in reality, who knows? She might be kinkier than Blair.
There we go. Never know.
Fuck Blair. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, Blair's like a son to me.
Oh, she's your son? She's
Like-
gonna die.
I'm liking
That
this,
bitch gonna
this
die.
mousy yandere transition.
Rest
There we
in
go.
peace, Blair.
I think we could call it a Chadzition,
Ooh.
to be honest.
That's a good
Yep.
word.
Yeah, thank you guys again. It's
And
always
the funniest thing is
pleasure.
when I told you about the Chad formation thing, I came up with the word Chad formation literally on the spot. Like I didn't think about it. I was about to type transformation, then I was like, no.
No, man, it worked out well. It's
Yeah, it
when
was
great minds come together.
Yes. Melody, I know you're listening. Please.
Come
Please.
together, yeah.
No.
All right, guys. Thank you so much again. Chad, don't forget to vote for give us a Power Stones on the web novel link. Link in the chat.
You know the best way to give the Power Stone on the web novel link? It's pretty straightforward. So this is how you do it. You go to Twitter at Anime Uproar, and you go through his tweets until he links that page. Then you use his link. Right? No, I have an even better idea. All right, scratch all that. You go to at @nux_taku, which is my Twitter, right? You go to my Twitter, drop a follow once you're there. Nothing to lose. You scroll down until you see I retweeted Animac talking about their novel. Then you click on Animac's Twitter once you're there, right? You might as well drop him a follow too, of course, duh. And in that tweet, he also links Briggs. So you could check out Briggs, drop him a follow, All Day Anime with 2 E's at the end because one E was taken. Then you click the link, then you drop Power Stones. This is how it's done. And honestly, I think you should probably look at the website web novel from a different country if possible. So if you could just do, whatever you want, nordvpn.com/animeuproar or expressvpn.com/nuxtaku. I mean, you could pick either of those two, to be honest. I mean,
I have the code as well. I can't remember my code though.
Okay, he's just memeing, guys. But you can give one free Power Stone every day. So if you keep going back, you can give us Power Stones and help us rank up, bitches. Let's do it. Thank you, chat, everyone live who enjoyed this with us in real time, and everyone who donated: Langert, UB112L, DJ
Ludicrous
Skit,
Fund gave a $500
The Anime Stoner, and Ludicrous Fun.
ludicrous fun, bro.
Ludicrous Funds, bro. $500 donation, just, no big deal. type shit.
Bro, this
So-
man's a legend.
Yeah, so
Langert with another 1,000 bits.
Langert. Oh man, some of these guys, because they bankroll us so much here on Twitch, are gonna be appearing in the novel. No choice. They must do. We must.
Yeah,
do
we have to talk to like the royal family or something.
No, I've already got it.
You
I've
already got it? Nice.
Got how they appear. So it'll be a lot of
Someone
fun.
in chat, Lou D. Cruzfund.
Can we?
That
we
is
have them
literally
flex
how
their
his
money in
that's gonna be
some
his
way?
name.
Can we have them flex their money in some way? And the guy's
Bro.
name is Ludicrous, and then Brigo's like, "Ha, that's a pretty ludicrous fund."
No, Brigo. While I appreciate that, it's actually Duke Lou D. Chris Fund.
Nice.
This is already confirmed. Yeah.
All right, the hype is real.
Thank you guys so much, Mousy. We love you.
I love
We
you
do.
guys too. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
And
Our
Recon,
pleasure,
thank you,
Recon,
too.
bro. I think you won back everyone's respect.
Nah, I'm still the king of shit taste.
But yeah, but we love you now.
Like,
Like the
Kirita,
chat,
don't you?
the chat loves you, bro. The chat absolutely loves
Thank
you.
you. I love you too, chat.
Hell yeah.
I'll be back next time for some more dingle voice acting. If
Well,
he's
let-
gonna show up again. I don't know.
I don't think he's in the next chapter. Is he in the next chapter?
No,
No, I don't think so.
but you know, Recon
He's probably
Is
the
it
one
important?
after, though.
Recon is an important part of this.
Yeah, there was a
This
certain
story.
name dropped. Hint, hint.
Hey.
Yeah, Recon knows. Recon already knows.
By the way, while I was reading the chapter, I got the reference. I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to go. Yeah.
It was the Quiet Life.
Nice. No, Animac, were you calling me out for always oversleeping?
Uh,
Is that how
I
you got
didn't
your
even
inspiration?
think of that.
no,
Oh,
it
that's
wasn't
brilliant.
intentional, but it works. it wasn't
works.
intentional.
That's great. I didn't think of that.
Like when we have to upload the web novel and videos and stuff, Animac will message me, are you gonna be up tomorrow?
Yeah, that's what he does.
It's
He's
true.
like-
I guess that was a subconscious call out because it
Was
wasn't.
I? Am I gonna be up tomorrow, bro? I'm still up tonight.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you again next week, and stay frosty, as we say.
Hell yeah.
That is.
I mean,
that is-
see ya, Space Cowboys.
Bye.
Bye.